Good morning. The two police officers who died when a car travelling the wrong way down a dual carriageway crashed into their vehicle have been hailed as heroes by their families.
More than £250,000 is raised for their loved ones, as 5 men in the Volkswagen that crashed into the police vehicle are also identified.
Well, a flurry of reports have linked the crash to the dangerous TikTok joyriding trend. After 2 eerily similar crashes in just 1 week, is it time to change the law to stop another tragedy unfolding?
Working with local areas, Number 10 North will oversee the biggest council house building programme since the post-war period.
And Reform UK is giving Andy Burnham's council housing shake-up a run for its money with their plans to prioritise homes for British-born families and veterans.
The Princess of Wales has been captured looking relaxed. That's despite the drama enveloping the royal family after news of a Brexit reversal.
And sport this morning, will Manchester City leave it late to beat Bournemouth? Liverpool leave it even later to draw at Newcastle, while Brighton take no time at all to thrash Aston Villa. Lando Norris wins the Dutch Grand Prix, and most importantly, Erling Haaland has had a haircut.
High pressure, keeping it dry and settled today, but changes are on the way later on in the week with some heavy rain on the way. Find out all the weather details for today coming up soon.
Good morning, it's just gone 6 o'clock. I'm Ellie Costello.
And I'm Alex Armstrong, and this is GB News Breakfast.
Well, let's start with this horrific story that took place at the weekend. Tributes are continuing to pour in now for the 2 brave police officers who were killed in the early hours of Saturday morning. It's after they were involved in a horrific wrong-way collision with 5 young people.
PC Matthew Blades, 37 years old, and PC Tom Clough, 38 years old, died when a Volkswagen Passat travelling the wrong way along the A66 near Middlesbrough collided with their marked police vehicle.
Well, PC Clough, a veteran who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, has been described by his family as their hero.
They said he proudly fought for his country and was always on public duty throughout his short life.
Well, the crash also claimed the lives of 5 young men aged between 16 and 23.
Well, according to reports, a video has emerged on one of the teenagers' TikTok accounts that appears to show him involved in a car chase with police months before the incident.
Well, let's get some reaction to this horrific story now with former Scotland Yard detective Peter Blexley, who joins us now. And Peter, I wanted to start actually paying tribute to these 2 brave police officers when so many people were tucked up safe in their beds in the early hours of Saturday morning. These 2 brave officers were out serving their community and putting themselves in harm's way and ultimately pay the ultimate price.
Policing is a unique job. It is not for those people who want to get rich or would like to be universally popular. In return for a salary that some people would sneer at, we ask, in fact, we demand of our police officers that they face the rioting mob, the samurai sword, the zombie knife, the loaded firearm. They also attend to people in their worst moments of their lives. They stem the bleeding, they cover the wound, they deliver CPR, and when none of that works, they deliver the messages to friends, to relatives, to loved ones that nobody ever wants to receive. As a result of the work that they have to carry out, many of them have fallen over the years. That list includes names that people may be familiar with: Keith Blakelock, Sharon Beshenivsky, Andrew Harper, and many, many more. Sadly, as a result of what happened over the weekend, we now have to, heartbreakingly, add the names of Matt Blades and Tom Clough. May their courageous souls rest in peace. May their names live forevermore.
And Peter, I know on my show last night we were having a very emotional discussion about this as well, and I think it's really important at this time to also remember that when these young men have lost their lives in service to our country, one of them who served our country abroad and here at home chose to, of course, come back to serve the British public. But they also leave behind families, and the job that you have done in the past and that these men have done so bravely also is going to have a massive impact on the lives of the partners. What is it like for the life of a partner for someone who's serving our country?
Husbands, wives, partners and parents so often bid farewell to their courageous police officer, not knowing whether that will be the last shift they ever complete, hoping against hope that they will return safely. Tragically, for heartbroken families, friends, loved ones, and the under-7s football team that Matt Blades should have coached yesterday, these courageous men have not returned home. Such is the ultimate price that we ask, that we expect, that we demand our police officers to be willing to make.
Peter, can we talk about this sickening TikTok trend, this joyriding trend that appears to be going viral at the moment? We saw a very similar case, didn't we, just last week in County Kildare, same number of young people in a car, 5 young men also dying in County Kildare, driving the wrong way down a road. How do we stop this? Because the way that it's trending is saying that this is the way to evade the police. If you are joyriding and you're in a police chase, go the wrong way down a road and you'll be able to evade the authorities. The Irish now are looking at bringing in a law that would deem anybody driving the wrong way down a road that they could be charged with attempted murder. Is that something that we need to look at in this country in order to stop this sickening TikTok trend, this deathly trend now, continuing?
I firmly believe that such a law would not have stopped either the tragedy in Ireland or the awful events in Cleveland this weekend, because, regrettably, we have some people that take to the roads thinking that they can do as they like, when clearly it so often has heartbreaking consequences. What I firmly believe we need are more punitive punishments for those who drive dangerously. I believe we need a greater police presence on the roads. Some of our driving that people carry out these days is utterly unacceptable, and I'm sure many members of your audience will have witnessed that kind of driving, and perhaps they've asked of themselves, like I do, where are the traffic police? If only we had more of them. That's what we need. The roads need to be having their laws enforced very, very firmly, and that may just go some small way to avoiding such tragedies in the future.
Peter Bleksley, former Scotland Yard detective, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know it's a difficult time for everybody who served and for the people who are currently serving. So thank you for joining us again so early in the morning to give your thoughts again to our audience on this. I know we appreciate it very much. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
It is,
Thank you, Peter.
you know, it's so heartbreaking. When I was reading the story out last night and you hear the statements by the loved ones, it gets you, and it's one of those things. These are people who have, these men. One of them a veteran of serving our country, not just abroad, but here at home. Decided that after putting his life on the line for British people in 2 wars for our country, came back to this beautiful bit of land and decided, I'm going to serve the British people here now. And it's heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. And I also really do feel for the parents of the young boys. I know that might not be a popular opinion, but at the end of the day, a lot of parents don't realise what their kids are doing when they go out. They don't track them, they don't know what they're up to, they might not know they're doing dangerous things. So that's a bunch of young lads here, 16 to 23 years old, who parents will be grieving. I know what they have done is exceptionally dangerous and stupid, and it's beyond stupid. But at the same time, we do have to consider that those families must be having a terrible, terrible time.
7 families now destroyed, aren't they?
Absolutely
broken by all of this. But these 2 brave police officers, it is right that we honour them and focus on them today. And Tom Clough, especially with this news coming out that he was a veteran, as you say, obviously duty was in his heart.
Yeah.
He wanted to serve this country, whether that was as a member of our armed forces or as a member of our policing community.
I love this picture of him on the front page of the Daily Telegraph.
Yeah, let me
He's
hold this
holding
up for you.
Little baby duck, I think.
Little baby
there.
duckling, yeah.
Yeah. Clearly, because again, you think about these veterans and you think about the little hard...
Tough guy,
but look at the smile on his face. He's holding that little baby duck. You know, it's such a tragedy.
They just seem like lovely family men, don't they?
Yeah.
You can see that from the tributes that have been paid to them. And they're both young men, 37 and 38.
Oh, gosh. You know.
Matthew Blades, Tom Clough.
Just a
Both
couple of
have
years older than
wives,
me.
both have children. Yeah, it's heartbreaking, isn't it? It really, really is. And just out doing their jobs, serving their community.
God bless them. I know all of you at home will be thinking of their families and, of course, them today. And our love, GB News, goes out to all people who serve our country in whatever form that may be. So thank you so much for what you do. And we know how dangerous that job can be. So thank you to everybody who does that to put our safety first.
It brings it all home, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
The price that they ultimately paid. Well, let's have a look now at our daily reflection.
The GB News Daily Reflection.
Hello, I'm Reverend Micah, Vicar in the Church of England. Today the Church remembers St Bartholomew, a disciple of Jesus whom later tradition tells us travelled with the good news of Christ, suffered and eventually died for it. But his feast day also carries a darker memory, the St Bartholomew's Day massacre, when Christians turned violently upon other Christians. And what's most striking, I think, is the contrast. We all know how quickly conviction can turn to anger in politics, online, even around the family table. We begin just wanting the other person to see the truth. But then things spiral, and we end up seeing them as enemies to be crushed. But Bartholomew's example points us in another direction. See, Bartholomew did not make others suffer for his faith. He was willing to suffer because he wanted others to know the love of Jesus. And that is how the Christian message first spread. Not through force, but through ordinary people speaking with courage, loving those who oppose them, and sometimes paying a great price for doing so. Jesus himself did not destroy his enemies. He laid down his life for them. Christian faith at its truest doesn't ask, how can I crush this person? But how can I speak the truth in genuine love?
It's very much needed this morning, I think. This is a very sombre feeling, I think, with this story. So, yeah, I'm very glad we do that on this news channel. I don't think anyone else does.
No, I agree with you. 13 minutes past 6. Let's take a look at some other stories coming to the newsroom this morning.
Reform UK is setting out its policy for social housing with a plan to prioritise British-born workers and young families, and of course, veterans too.
Well, the Deputy Leader, Richard Tice, will announce his party's intention to build 50,000 affordable social homes a year in a news conference today. He'll be joining the programme just after 9 o'clock.
Indeed, yeah. Police say 2 young women aged 19 and 20 have been arrested on suspicion of causing serious injury to a child in Rochdale. The child reportedly fell from a first-floor window on Sunday afternoon. Emergency services attended the scene and the child was taken to hospital in a critical condition.
The train operator Cross Country will resume a full service today. It's after a power outage at its control centre led to widespread cancellations across almost all routes. Disruptions began on Sunday morning, with the majority of routes cancelled or delayed. Oh, there was a bit of a chill in the air this morning.
Was?
I didn't know what to think.
I quite like it, actually.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
You're looking forward to the seasons changing.
I think I have to know I'm going to get crucified for saying this, and I'm sorry, and don't be offended, please.
I know what you're going to say.
I'm done with this. I'm done with the heat now. And the thing is, Ellie, I have to wear a suit 5 days a week. I've got to march in here on the tube. It's horrible. I'm done with it. I enjoyed it. It was lovely.
You've had enough.
I've had enough. Bring on some temperate weather. I'm not saying cold, saying 18 to 21. Be all right with that.
I'm dreading it. I'm dreading the dark mornings. I'm dreading
dark
the
mornings
cold, the frost. No, we could do without it.
Dark morning's already here.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But anyway, I don't think it's going to be that cold this week. Let's get all the details, shall we, with Greg?
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello there, good morning and welcome to your latest GB News weather. High pressure still in charge of our weather today. Plenty of dry weather and pleasant spells of sunshine as well. Bit of a fresh start in places this morning, some mist and fog patches, but they'll soon clear and then a fine day to come. The cloud will bubble up as we move through the day, particularly into the afternoon across eastern areas, perhaps thick enough for 1 or 2 showers, but the vast majority it will be dry and bright. A much sunnier day for western parts, particularly Northern Ireland, where it's quite cloudy over the weekend. Temperatures rising into the low 20s, 24, 25 Celsius possible. A little cooler in the east with that easterly breeze. As we look at the details for the evening time, fine end today across Scotland, plenty of sunny spells, temperatures still in the low 20s come 5-6 p.m. Plenty of sunshine as well for Northern Ireland, parts of Northern England. Still some cloud, but this will start to melt away as we move through the evening time. 1 or 2 light showers perhaps towards Lincolnshire and the Wash into East Anglia. A bit of an easterly breeze, just making it feel a little cooler here. And then perhaps an increasing chance of some showers moving in across the far south as we head through the latter part of the evening into the early hours. Some of this could turn heavy as it pushes towards the south coast. A bit of uncertainty how quickly this will push northwards. More cloud around overall means temperatures not quite as low tonight compared to the weekend, generally staying in double figures, some low cloud and fog to start the day. But on Tuesday, a bright start in the north, cloudy in the south, the increasing risk of some showers pushing northwards. These perhaps turning a little heavy and thundery later on. 1 or 2 showers starting to develop parts of Northern Ireland and Scotland later. And a bit of an easterly breeze still means the east is cooler, but the west temperatures 24, 25, starting to feel more humid too.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
Bold.
They are under no illusion.
Ray.
Are you a human trafficker?
Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get this on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline. Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What I'm going to do now, they are throwing things out the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Some people enjoy lazy Sunday mornings, but not me.
What's the truth of the matter?
So that's a very live question.
Would you support him if he waters down these plans?
Before the spin sets in, I'll be getting to the truth.
This is personal.
No soft questions, no easy answers.
It's one thing if the state has rules in this country. It's another thing whether the police and others actually police them.
Setting the agenda and holding those in power to account.
You can't really blame her if the system is set up this way. You will not want to miss it, trust me.
The Camilla Tominey Show, Sundays from 9:30, only on GB News.
Welcome back. It's 20 minutes past 6. Now, Andy Burnham is set to visit Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, on his first international trip as Prime Minister.
That's right. The former mayor of Manchester is expected to meet Volodymyr Zelensky and share his first meeting of the Coalition of the Willing alongside other world leaders to mark Ukraine's Independence Day.
Well, this begs the question, what does choosing Ukraine for his first overseas trip say about Andy Burnham's priorities? And can he make his mark on the world stage?
Well, here to speak to us more is former Labour MP Lord Walney. Lord Walney, thank you very much for joining us this morning. A critical moment for the Prime Minister as he makes his first foreign trip to a country, of course, we've been supporting for many years now in their fight against Putin and Russia and their illegal invasion there. What should we make of the Prime Minister choosing this as his first time to visit a foreign country?
It's really good that he's showing that Ukraine is going to be his number one priority as Britain's Prime Minister. Andy, I think by his own recognition, has been a domestic politician on his long rise through different parts of British politics. He hasn't, in the main, focused on the international scene, but of course he will have known already and will be rapidly finding out that so much of this job is about being able to represent Britain's interests on the foreign stage. And there is nothing more important than us showing that we have resolved to defend the country against Russia's aggression that is at the moment on Ukraine's. It has been ravaging the country of Ukraine for many years, but could easily spill into further into mainland Europe and threaten the UK itself. So I really welcome that Andy's making this his first trip today.
We also understand that the Prime Minister is going to hand Ukraine these secret blueprints for Storm Shadow missiles. So, in theory, Ukraine can begin to produce their own Storm Shadow missiles, although there are huge questions about whether they would have the capability to actually set up those very complex production lines. If they are able to do so, how would that impact the war effort, do you think?
Well, you've seen in recent months that actually that Russia is plugging away. It wants to test the resolve not only of Ukraine but of the allies, this coalition of the willing, in being able to give it the ultimately defensive mechanisms to show that if Russia continues to push, then it has the capability to reach right into the Russian state and be able to damage this country. That this is not going to be a one-way thing where Ukraine sits back passively and allows its infrastructure to be damaged. It can push back and cause harm to its enemies to try to ultimately to get it to see sense and back down. So whether this comes through ultimately Ukraine being able to establish its own sovereign capability, that's the message that's being sent, that really we are in for the long haul if needs be. We'll help Ukraine create that capability on within its own borders if necessary. But if not, then we continue the production lines across Europe and with our allies in the States to give it everything that it needs to be able to push Russia back.
Lord Worley, there's reports suggesting yesterday coming out of Kyiv that Ukraine believes Russia's planning to draft an additional 300,000 men to the front lines with its goal of being 500,000 by 2027. This is one of Russia's age-old tactics. It throws bodies at wars, doesn't it? There's also reports that Russia's been gaining ground in key battle areas. Are we looking more and more likely at a hot war with Russia if they're to make significant gains into Ukraine in the next few years?
Well, what Russia is doing at the moment is yes on that on the battlefield. It is extraordinary the way it is prepared to basically to sacrifice the lives of so many Russian young men over the years. They have willingly allowed casualty rates which would utterly horrify any other country that is involved in this. But what they are doing on the communications front is trying to test the coalition's resolve, and probably personally trying to test Andy Burnham as to whether he has the nerve to keep on with this. But what has long been the case is that actually what the UK, what the Allies need to do is the opposite of the direction which, of course, Russia is pushing. It is always trying to suggest that the next escalation will be a problem, will draw the UK into a hot war. It makes dark warnings about nuclear threat, but actually what makes a difference is when the UK and others stand up and push forwards and give Ukraine extra capabilities to be able to increase its deterrent effect, and that's ultimately what makes us less likely to end up in a full-on war confrontation with Russia, not standing back and allowing Russia to push forward, as of course the country would like to see.
Lord Walney, thank you so much for joining us this morning on GB News Breakfast. Really good to get your reaction and your analysis this morning. Thank you.
And moving on, graduates are facing the worst job market on record, with vacancies disappearing thanks to factors like rising taxes and AI.
Well, in July, just over 8,000 graduate roles were advertised. That's a 45% drop compared to this time last year.
We've got Oscar Redrop is here to talk to us. And Oscar, I thought it was going to be 10,000, but that's even lower than we suspected. That's 20% lower than I anticipated. This is a disaster. It's a disaster for young people there who are coming out laden with debt up to their eyeballs. I mean, I think one of my little brothers has got 60 grand's worth of debt from uni. This is double what mine was. How on earth were they going to even pay it off at this rate?
It's a complete perfect storm that we're not even in the middle of right now. And you can see it we're in it. It's only going to get worse on the horizon. And policy has been constructed to make things even bleaker than they needed to be. We've had politicians for, it feels like, maybe over a decade now, I'd say, definitely since that second student loan phase came in, talking about, technical skills and, university isn't for everyone and we need to encourage different paths. Andy Burnham has done exactly the same. They all talk it. They all talk a good game on it and providing those additional opportunities. But ultimately, we have more people going to university than ever before. We have less jobs for those young people than ever before, and we have a welfare bill as we know now, which is dragging this country down beyond belief. That is only going to get worse. And the other kind of monster at the table here is artificial intelligence, and that's a huge elephant in the room. That nobody knows how to discuss. I have to say, the effective jobs tax, the national insurance rise on employers that Rachel Reeves and Keir Starmer brought in last year is just, when you look at the wider context, is just crazy to me. And what is the first thing that happens? For employers, they go, we can't afford to take on those jobs that, not that we don't need, of course we need those entry-level jobs, but we probably could go without if the government are forcing us to cut our cloth accordingly and unfairly. And everyone watching this, it would be very similar stories for everyone. Often your first job is someone taking a punt on you. Yeah. And that Labour budget and that decision the government made that 10 times harder and more unlikely for young people. So I think it's really unfair that we hear about, you don't need university, jobs here, kind of technical skills and all this kind of stuff. When you are hammering those that would employ those people with that tax rise, it should be reversed. Yeah. Really should. Yeah.
And it feeds into this needs crisis, doesn't it? We wonder why there's 14% of 16 to 24-year-olds out of work. Well, so many, we had record numbers last week, didn't we, accepting university places. There's no jobs to go to.
I know.
When they graduate.
I know, and I know, like, young people. Am I still young? Does that count?
You count as young.
OK, just about. Yeah. I'm in my 30s
We're the same age,
now.
so you have to say you're young.
Yeah. All right, so I'm
definitely young, mate.
We give young people a hard time, right? Sometimes in this country, I think. But they are ultimately, young people are being conned.
Yeah.
It is a con. The interest rate that accumulates on that loan, and for what? And young people have been told time and time again, go to university, do the right thing, you get a decent job, maybe you'll be able to buy a house one day, and all these things feel completely impossible. And, Andy Burnham's talked to half decent, or he's indicated a good game on alternatives to university. But unless they reverse that jobs tax, meaningless.
Yeah, and I think we are in consensus, a consensus around this, by the way, but I think a lot of people will say it's a choice. You don't have to go to uni. Use your own mind. Don't go to uni if you don't want to. Get off your backside. Go and get a job at young. Go and learn a trade, like a lot of people would have watching this show would have done. And they say, well, actually, it's your debt. You wanted to go to uni.
You shoulder it.
Your burden. Yep. That's what they'll say. But of course, I understand when you are at college, they tell you this is what you've got to do. It was basically a given you would go to university. And people also forget universities are businesses. They are not part of our traditional education system.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Oscar, we'll speak to you very soon. Thank you very much.
Now, do stay with us. Up next, James Rampton and Dawn Neeson are taking us through the papers, including the news that Meghan Markle's acting return might all have been a PR stunt.
I sort of predicted that on the weekend. Just like,
You had your finger on the pulse. In the meantime, here's your traffic and travel update.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. The A34 is closed after the A303 at Bullington Cross, and the A1 is closed after the A421 at Bedford. The M11 southbound has an incident at junction 14 in Girton. The M1 northbound has an obstruction between junctions 30 and 31 at Worksop. In Scotland, the A78 is closed in both directions between A78 Dunlop Street and A8 Ratho Street in Dunlop Street to A8 Ratho Street. And on the trains, Greater Anglia has major disruption between Shenfield and Southend Victoria, with no trains between Tottenham Hale and London Liverpool Street. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
I've been in Westminster for a long time, but I know that though power may be here, its effect on people's lives is across the whole of the country. We may be where rules are made, but it's where they're implemented that matters. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for forthright and frank discussion on where Britain has come from, where it's going, and where it will end up. That's State of the Nation, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Vox Populi, Vox Dei.
Britain is not just a geographical expression. We are a people bound together by history and culture that are distinctively British. Join me to celebrate our music, theatre, artworks and literature, which we can explore and enjoy together.
Everybody's welcome.
Sunday with Michael Costello. Every Sunday at 11 a.m. on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Welcome to Free Speech Nation with me, Josh Howard. This is the show where each week we see what's happening in the world of culture, current affairs and politics.
First we'll say, welcome to the UK. Oh, thank you.
And we're not afraid to use our free speech so that you can use yours.
It's not controversial in the slightest to anyone who hasn't lost their mind.
Free Speech Nation, Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
As soon as it hits 11 and the headlines come in,
the Late Edition brings you the breaking news from all the front pages.
Because the news is going to happen.
So get a head start today.
Patrick Christie's Tonight, Late Edition.
Alex Armstrong Tonight, Late Edition. From 11 o'clock every night.
Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
So he can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Dormy, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Do you trust what you're being told? Good, because neither do I.
Those are just facts.
I'm Alex Armstrong, and on my show, we'll expose the spin.
Well, I want to answer that, because you didn't let me last time, because you always speak over me.
The broken promises.
To deny that is denying the truth.
And the hypocrisy.
Needs to
stop.
You think we can allow?
Politics, policy, parliament. Nothing is off limits. No sugarcoating, no fear of offence, just the truth laid bare. Tune in every Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. for Alex Armstrong Tonight, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Welcome back, everybody. We've got the newspaper front pages to go through here with Dawn and James. Good morning, you two.
Morning.
How are you doing today?
Very well. What about you?
Yeah, we're all right, I think. We're getting through it.
We are.
Where should we start, Ellie?
Let's start with the Telegraph front page, shall we, Dawn? Graduates facing the worst jobs market on record. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, before we start doing the papers, can I just say one thing? One of the very first stories I read this morning was about PC Tom Clough and PC Matthew Blades, those two serving officers that were killed in that awful car incident over the weekend. I just wanted, I read the widow's words, PC Blades' wife, her words today, a tribute to her husband, and I read it at like 3:30 this morning when I started work, and I was just almost in tears instantly.
I got goosebumps.
And I think, you know, he had two young sons. He was, 37 years old. And when you read those words, it really brings home what happened this weekend, that awful crash on Saturday morning. So I just wanted to start just by paying tribute to those two brave officers who, it's a cliche, but went into danger when we'd all be running away from them. Without them, you know, our lives would be so much more dangerous than they actually are. So I just wanted to pay tribute to them before we got started.
Well said.
Well said, yeah.
OK, thank you. OK, but on the front page of the Telegraph, and most of the papers have got a tribute to those officers on there, including the Telegraph, but their main story is about graduates facing the worst job market on record. Just 8,300 roles for university leavers advertised in July this year. It's a 45% drop year on year, which is not only going to present, obviously, Andy Burnham a huge problem when it comes to rising unemployment levels, but the reason this is happening is that it's because of the Labour government, basically. Employers are slashing entry-level hiring because of the national insurance on employers and the minimum wage coming in, meaning that firms are going to hire a more experienced worker rather than a youngster. And also some of the bigger companies are now using more AI, certainly to do paperwork, the basic entry-level jobs, what graduates would have done. So two reasons, but it's a 45% drop year on year, which is worrying. It really is worrying.
Yeah, I have several relatives who have just graduated, extremely clever young people. Some got first, some have MAs, and several of them can't find a job. It's not like they're unqualified. No. They're super qualified, but they just cannot find a job. As you mentioned, Dawn, these figures are really shocking. Over the past 9 years, the number of job offers has declined by 85%. I mean, how on earth are youngsters supposed to battle in that market? You mentioned AI. Apparently, the big four accountancy firms have now stopped employing people to do certain jobs jobs because AI can do them for them. So where does that leave young people? What on earth are they going to do?
Well, there's the hope, of course, is that AI brings its I think this is a massive industrial revolution we're going through, and we're right near the end of it because AI will be a game changer when it's sort of, I guess, continues growing as it is. But the hope, I guess, Dawn, is that it will create new jobs in the end.
I love the fact that you're such an eternal
I try to be.
Considering you must be
be
exhausted after last night and then come straight to it this morning. But yeah, I mean, it could be the new industrial revolution, and this is just a changeover period where the working world is adjusting to AI coming in and doing that. And the dream is we'll all have more leisure time, won't we? But still the same amount of money. Haven't quite worked out how that's going to happen.
That sounds nice.
So it might just be a transition period, but I do wonder how these youngsters are going to find work. I mean, it's very curious that Andy Burnham, when he came in and said, we're valuing the hard hat as much as the graduation cap these days. Did he know these figures were coming out? Yeah, of course we're going to value the hard hat because graduates can't get jobs.
And construction is one area where people are hiring, as opposed to healthcare where offers have dropped by 30%.
Yeah.
Bonkers stuff. Bonkers stuff. Listen, we, of course, you two, we're back with us in an hour's time. We've got loads more to go through, and I'm very keen to get your take on what's going on over in Harry and Meghan land as well, because it's just never ending.
Sorry, Don, we are going to talk about it.
Not talking about it. Absolutely not talking about it.
Thanks very much, you two. Do so is still to come. Defence Minister Luke Pollard is joining us on the programme.
He is indeed. But first, here's our forecast for our top European destinations.
Ready to soak up that holiday sunshine?
Won't we need some cover?
No worries. All sorted.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Hello there. It remains quite unsettled across northern and western parts of Europe. Some heavy rain across parts of Portugal and Spain in particular. Plenty of sunny spells across the Canaries on Tuesday. Temperatures around 30 Celsius. The risk of showers still for Portugal, parts of France, but Spain largely dry with sunshine. A few showers also stretching across into northern Italy. Hot in Rome, temperatures in the mid-30s. Plenty of sunshine and high temperatures across Greece as well, staying that way over the next few days.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Good afternoon, Britain. Weekdays from midday.
Joining us now is Head of Advocacy at Big Brother Watch, Jack Colson. Jack, interested to know your view on this. Why shouldn't I be able to wear my Meta glasses around?
Well, certainly there are times and places where Meta glasses might be of use, particularly for those with visual impairments. The technology really could be a breakthrough, but we see these as the tip of an iceberg. Meta's glasses have already been potentially linked to facial recognition technology, which really would be a stalker's charter. And we are operating in an environment where perpetrators of harassment feel safe to use this technology when really it's the public who ought to feel safe. So the government ultimately are going to have to explore restrictions on this kind of technology, and we're seeing civil society push back.
GB News, the People's Channel. GB News Breakfast, every day from 6 a.m.
I do think it's worrying that young people, I mean, are they I think they are more risk averse. Yes. I think they are scared of getting into personal space. I think you're right, there are issues about consent and everything else. But how sad that people say that it's been a year since they've been kissed. What is life for if you're not having a little kiss every now and again?
Yeah, the death of the kiss.
Apparently, much younger people now haven't had a good snog in over 12 months on average, the people that have been interviewed. But I would hazard a guess that that's because people are frightened. Men don't know when they can approach women anymore. Men can think 1 or 2 steps ahead on the same board, whereas a woman will think about 18 steps. So
I think you're overthinking it.
If a man takes you to Paris for the weekend, a woman will come back disappointed that they haven't proposed them, whereas a man thinks they've done a really great thing.
Why do men always think you're going to be proposed to in Paris? That you expect that? We don't expect that. Just take us to Paris.
The People's Channel. Good afternoon, Britain. Weekdays from midday.
I'm thrilled to say now I'm joined by another World War II veteran.
In my judgment, the Mosquito was a better aircraft because it's got 2 Spitfire engines.
And you flew it all over Europe. You told me that you had a particularly memorable flight near Berlin. What happened there?
A shell came up underneath, it lifted up the aircraft and it interfered for a brief period with the fuel supply. I didn't know. All I knew was I'd got the propellers were windmilling around and we hadn't any power. And eventually the power came on again. And I leaned across to Doug, my navigator. He was a Canadian, a wonderful bloke. And I said to him, you weren't frightened, were you, Doug? And he said, no, I wasn't frightened, I was bloody terrified.
GB News.
Right, it's time now for a great British giveaway. It's brand new. It's the biggest.
A new one.
It is a new one, and we love it when there's a new one, don't we?
We do. We get very excited
yes,
about it.
We do get very excited. It's biggest of the year as well. So it's 4-berth motorhome worth 75 grand plus 35k in tax-free cash. Looks like Hayley Sparks is there with the camper van.
It's brand new and it's the big one. Your chance to win £110,000 in prizes. Our biggest giveaway of the year so far. First, we want you to drive away in this. Courtesy of Marquis Leisure, you could win this brand new 4-berth motorhome. The McClue Fusion comes fully loaded with all of the home comforts you'd expect. Built-in modern kitchen, bathroom, fridge freezer, and it's worth £75,000. But that's just the beginning, as we'll also give you a whopping £35,000 in tax-free cash to spend, save, or just to use to enjoy adventures in your new motorhome. This incredible prize package is exclusive to GB News. You won't see it anywhere else, so make sure you don't miss out.
For a chance to win a motorhome and cash, text prize to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB23 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 23rd of October. We may call the winner live after all entry routes have closed. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Yes, good luck. Well, I'm delighted to say that we're joined by Defence Minister Luke Pollard. Very good morning to you, Mr Pollard. And can we start with our top story this morning? We've been paying tribute to these two very brave police constables, Tom Clough and Matthew Blades, 38 years old and 37 years old, respectively, who died in this horror crash, died in the line of duty in the early hours of Saturday morning in this joyriding incident. What is this government going to do to protect these brave police constables who are just doing their jobs in the wake of this TikTok trend, this sickening TikTok trend where young people are deliberately driving the wrong way down a road in order to try and evade the authorities? You will be very familiar with a similar incident last week in County Kildare in Ireland. The Irish are now looking at bringing in legislation that anybody deliberately driving the wrong way down a road can be charged with attempted murder. They say it's akin to that. Do we need to do similar in this country?
Morning. The thoughts of myself, and I know many of my colleagues, all my colleagues, are for the families of all those people who lost their lives in that horrendous tragedy. It's right that the police have time to investigate what's happened, but I think there's steps that we can take immediately. The government has already spoken to the social media companies, telling them to take down that horrendous content that you rightly say is celebrating dangerous driving on our roads. It's already illegal to drive down the wrong side of the road in the United Kingdom, and we'll learn the lessons from the police investigation, but we want that content removed online. I think it should be for the social media companies who have often argued that they can police themselves. Well, prove it here. Turn off the algorithm that incentivizes and shares this type of illegal content. Don't give those people who are seeking the opportunity to cash in on this illegal behaviour, because it's not just about views. Those views can be translated into money that's paid by those social media networks to the people posting that content. So delete that content, dial down that algorithm so it doesn't share content like that. And if you don't do that, we'll use the powers that are available to us in the Online Safety Act to regulate those social media platforms to stop that content being shared. But I'm open to learning the lessons from this, but it's right that we do so once the police investigation has concluded.
OK, thank you, Minister. I would like to move on to some defence-related topics. You are Defence Minister, of course. Just a couple of days ago, we found out the shocking news that civilian infrastructure here in Britain, power plant, was shut down for 4 days following a cyber attack by the terrorist regime in Iran. How is this government responding to that attack?
Well, we know that the threats to our critical national infrastructure from cyber attack has increased exponentially in recent years. The Ministry of Defence's defence systems are under constant attack from our adversaries, and that's why we've put not only more money in the defence budget, but more of that money being provided to our specialist cyber teams to defend our critical national infrastructure. And the government across the board is doing more, led by the Cabinet Office. We have a new piece of legislation that's currently going through Parliament, the Cyber and Resilience Bill, to provide further powers and enhance the protections. But we need to be aware that in a more connected, joined-up world with the internet, one that is more dangerous, we need to be taking more steps, and that's exactly what the government is doing. I think it's worth reassuring that it wasn't a large power station like the ones that you would normally think of as a small power generation system, but nonetheless, we need to be alive to the fact that we need to be constantly vigilant to the attacks that adversaries and those who oppose our nation pose.
But Minister, also, may I just interject? Because you know, I think our audience are rather upset about this. This is an attack on civilian infrastructure here in the United Kingdom. This is an attack on British people. And yes, it might be a small power station. Nonetheless, it is a serious attack. We have not taken any offensive action, aggressive action against Iran. The former Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, said this was not our war. He's got a bit of egg on his face, really, hasn't he now? Because it seems to me, not only have we had several drone strikes hit bases, British bases, by the Iranian regime, but they're now trying to shut down our infrastructure, and yet we're sat here doing nothing, responding in no way whatsoever, it seems. Putin will be laughing at us.
No, I don't think so. Putin's very aware that the UK has a robust set of defences and a robust military. And so I don't think he is laughing at us in that respect at all. I think, if anything, Putin is very alive to the fact that the United Kingdom is a strong military power, one that's investing in our defence, growing the size of our army, retiring old equipment and bringing on the latest technologies, but we're also continuing that support to our friends in Ukraine. Now, when it comes to cyber resilience more broadly, I think your viewers have every right to be concerned. As a minister, I'm concerned around cyber attacks on the UK and on our allies as well. It is a constant in the modern world. That is the reason why this government is investing more in our cyber defences. It's the reason why in the Ministry of Defence we've created a new direct entry to our cyber warriors, so they no longer need to come through the prism of carrying a big Bergen and being able to shoot clearly. We're hiring people directly who have the coding skills to be able to defend our nation. That new direct entry for cyber warriors has been a huge success, and we're expanding it in our armed forces. But the effort to defend ourselves is not just one that is a military effort. It's a civilian effort as well. And that's why across the entire public sector and the private sector, you're seeing more investment in protection of our critical national infrastructure, new powers being brought on board to protect it further. But I'm under no doubt that there is an increasing threat to our cyber resilience as a nation, and that's why we're putting more money and more powers in to defend our nation in these more dangerous and difficult times.
We've got news this morning that graduates are facing the worst job market on record. Vacancies have fallen 45% in just 1 year. It's being described as a jobs drought. What's caused this? Can you admit now as a government that increasing national insurance contributions on employers has made hiring young staff a lot less attractive? You are damaging the opportunities and therefore the futures of young people?
Well, I want to see more young people into work, and so does the government. And that's why.
Well, will you reverse the policy then?
Well, that's why we've taken steps to make it easier for people to hire. There's a £3,000 grant for those people who hire a young person who's been unemployed for 6 months. We've also removed some of the taxes on those people who are hiring a young person, a 21-year-old, for instance, as long as their wages aren't above 50,000. So we've taken steps to do that. But I want to see us grow our economy, creating more jobs within our economy to do so. And if I only look at the area that I'm responsible for in defence, we're putting more of a rising defence budget into British companies, creating more jobs for young people, not just for graduates, but for technical trades as well. And you will have heard the Prime Minister in one of his first announcements talk about the support he wants to offer for more technical trades, so we can get more young people into good jobs that will provide them a lifetime of well-paid employment. That's not just by the graduate route, that needs to be via technical routes as well. I think many of your viewers will be shouting at the TV now saying, let's create more electricians, let's train more plumbers, and that's precisely what this government is wanting to do.
Quite right. We haven't got much time left, and I would love to speak to you about the Prime Minister going to Ukraine today. He's saying, will be saying, Britain is 100% behind Ukrainians. Tell us a little bit more about that, Minister.
Oh, we absolutely are. We're going to stand with Ukraine for as long as it takes. President Zelensky was the first international visitor that the Prime Minister welcomed to Downing Street on becoming Prime Minister, and Ukraine is the first international visit he is making. That shows the strength of our support, but it's not just about a visit. Today, the Prime Minister is announcing that we are transferring British technology as part of a joint UK-French missile, the Scalp missile, so Ukraine can produce them themselves. That's a missile that's better known in the United Kingdom as Storm Shadow. I want to equip Ukraine with the technology they need to defend themselves against Putin's illegal war. And having been to Ukraine many times, I've seen the incredible bravery, the courage and the resilience of not just their armed forces, but the people. And let's remember that every single night, it's not just the Ukrainians on the front line defending their nation that are being attacked by Russia. It's civilian targets, it's power plants. And as we've seen recently, a shopping mall as well. That's why we're going to stand with Ukraine for as long as it takes.
Defence Minister Luke Pollard, thank you very much for joining us on GB News Breakfast. We'll be back in a few moments' time.
Thank you, Britain, for making GB News Radio such a huge success. Whether you're in the car, on the go, or listening at home, thank you for choosing us as your radio station.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. The M4 westbound is obstructed at Junction 10 in Wokingham. The A34 is closed after the A303 at Bullington Cross. The M25 anti-clockwise is affected by a collision between junctions 17 and 16 in Denham. The A1 is closed after the A421 in Bedford. In Scotland, the A78 between Dunlop Street and A8 Ratho Street is closed in both directions. And on the trains, Greater Anglia services are facing major disruption between Shenfield and Southend Victoria, with disruption between Tottenham Hale and London Liverpool Street. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
It's brand new and it's the big one. Courtesy of Marquis Leisure, you could win this brand new 4-berth motorhome. But that's just the beginning, as we'll also give you a whopping £35,000 in tax-free cash to spend, save, or just to use to enjoy adventures in your new motorhome.
For a chance to win, text prize to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB23 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 23rd of October. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk now?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
In fact, has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints. How many fingers have I got up?
About 10.
So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Good morning. The two police officers who died when a car travelling the wrong way down a dual carriageway crashed into their vehicle are being hailed as heroes by their families.
Yes, more than £250,000 has been raised for their loved ones as the 5 men in the Volkswagen that crashed into them are also identified.
Well, a flurry of reports have linked the crash to a dangerous TikTok joyriding trend. After 2 eerily similar crashes in just 1 week, is it time to change the law to stop another tragedy unfolding?
And Defence Minister Luke Pollard has just had this to say about the dangerous social media trend.
The government has already spoken to the social media companies, telling them to take down that horrendous content that you rightly say is celebrating dangerous driving on our roads.
To put it simply, Vladimir, I want you to know that we've got your back. You can count on me and you can count on us. You can count on the UK.
Prime Minister Andy Burnham will arrive in Kyiv today, marking his first foreign trip since moving into number 10. Is this a signal that his support for Ukraine is unwavering?
And it's been revealed that graduates are facing the worst jobs market on record. So, why are more teenagers than ever heading to university if there's no jobs to follow?
So, working with local areas, Number 10 North will oversee the biggest council house building programme since the post-war period.
Elsewhere today, Reform UK is giving Burnham's council housing shake-up a run for its money, with their plans to prioritise homes for British-born families and veterans. We're talking to Richard Tice just after 9 o'clock this morning.
Now, the Princess of Wales has been captured looking, well, absolutely relaxed by the looks of things, despite the drama unfolding in the royal family after the news of a return of Harry and Meghan.
An employer has made headlines after banning applicants from submitting CVs. So, in a world filled with AI, is it time to revolutionise how we apply for jobs?
And sport, Manchester City leave it late to beat Bournemouth. Liverpool leave it even later to draw at Newcastle, while Brighton take no time at all to thrash Aston Villa. Lando Norris wins the Dutch Grand Prix, and most importantly, Erling Haaland has a haircut.
High pressure, keeping it dry and settled today, but changes are on the way later on in the week with some heavy rain on the way. Find out all the weather details for today coming up soon.
Good morning, it's just gone 7 o'clock. I'm Ellie Costello.
And I'm Alex Armstrong, and this is GB News Breakfast. Well. It's been a bad time for graduates, hasn't it?
It really has, yeah.
You know.
Now facing the worst jobs market on record.
What was your first job outside of uni?
Outside of uni or before uni?
After uni.
When I worked for the BBC.
Yeah.
It was work experience, and then luckily they liked me, so
it turned into a job. You
there
see that? There's so few of those now.
Taking a punt.
That's right.
It relies on people taking a punt.
Can't do that anymore, can you?
I don't think it does happen anymore.
I remember I worked while I was at university, so I had 2 jobs. One of them was in Parliament, and some of it was when I first started doing the work in Parliament was free work. You can't do that anymore.
Of course, can't do that anymore.
But that was really helpful to me. Because I ended up getting skills that I then put on my CV where all the other, some lazy students didn't ever have a job whatsoever. Well, it gave me a massive leg up because I had 2 job experiences. But now that you can't even get the work experience jobs. So what are these kids to do?
It's very, very difficult, isn't it? And we had news last week, didn't it, that more people than ever, young people than ever, going to university. Well, what's the point if there's no job afterwards?
No, I know. It really does worry me. It really does. So 8,000 graduate jobs advertised in this year. I thought it was going to be 10,000, but it was 8.
Yeah.
That is... how many graduates... I'd love to know how many graduates there are compared to that.
Each year. Yeah, we should have a look at that. 45% drop compared to this time last year, so that's stark. What's happened? Let's talk to political commentator Oscar Reddrop. Morning to you, Oscar. What's to blame for all of this?
It's just a perfect storm. We're entering a world of AI, which I think is a huge elephant in the room on this. I think young people ultimately... who we do give a tough time to sometimes in this country, wrongly, rightly, sometimes rightly, but have been lied to. It is a complete con, and it's been a con that has been going on for years and years and years, and I think we are reaching that final reckoning stage now. And I can understand why a lot of young people, because we're seeing record numbers still going to university, despite now, I think, the realisation that you don't need a degree to get on in life and to find an opportunity. But at the same time, can you blame them? Can you blame someone going, well, I mean, yeah, I might as well just have a bit of fun for 3 years and I'll think about the debt, that accumulating interest debt, you know, in years to come. And again, another con that young people have faced in terms of the student loan schemes that changed around, you know, a decade ago or so now. And look, like, I'm sorry to say it, but like the Labour government have made things worse with that jobs tax. And this is when policy, and I know you had the minister on talking about it this morning in the morning round, this is when politics and policy is just like makes you want to pull your hair out and makes no sense. So you slap a huge jobs tax on employers, taking a punt, you know, and rising minimum wage, and everyone goes, oh, you know, isn't that a brilliant thing? Well, yeah, but also actually, alongside a jobs tax, you rise the minimum. You raise the minimum wage. What happened? You're working for free, and everyone goes, "Oh, you know, it's like the Victorian age. You can't work for free." Well, actually, it gave you an opportunity, right?
I wasn't forced to do it.
So you put all these things together, and then employers go, "Well, we can't afford to hire anyone anymore, particularly those entry-level jobs." And the government go, "Oh yeah, but we'll give you a £3,000 incentive to hire them." It's just like you're just creating policy for absolutely no reason at all, and stop babying employers.
You're creating policy to fix the bad policies that you made.
Exactly, and do businesses and employers do they want to be babied with a little £3,000 voucher? No, just get out our way and let us get on with hiring, less red tape, and we'll employ these people.
Can I really briefly put this to you as well, Oscar? Because Andy Burnham is reportedly in the press considering subsidising tuition fees for EU students coming to Britain as part of a Brexit renegotiation. Would that just be a massive slap in the face to young British kids?
Completely. And again, like it is just the priority, the emphasis of and priority that we see time and time again is so backwards and so wrong. There will be millions of young people over the next decade that are going to be let down, and yet. You know, but in terms of bargaining chips for closer ties with the EU, who've done nothing for us, particularly on an issue like this, and would never do anything for us for British kids abroad necessarily. They're just a bargaining chip, and it's really, really sad.
It really is. Oscar, thank you.
All right, moving on. Breaking news this morning. The Prime Minister, Andy Burnham, has arrived in Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, on his first international trip as Prime Minister. The former mayor of Manchester is expected to meet Volodymyr Zelensky and chair his first meeting of the Coalition of the Willing alongside other world leaders to mark Ukraine's Independence Day.
Reform UK is setting out its policy for social housing with a plan to prioritise British-born workers, young families and veterans. The Deputy Leader, Richard Tice, will announce his party's intention to build 50,000 affordable social homes a year in a news conference later on today. He's going to be joining the programme just after 9 o'clock.
And moving on, police say 2 young women aged 19 and 20 have been arrested on suspicion of causing serious injury to a child in Rochdale. The child reportedly fell from a first-floor window on Sunday afternoon. Emergency services attended the scene and the child was taken to hospital in a critical condition. Prime Minister's in Kyiv.
He is. He's just arrived, hasn't he? I believe we've got some photos of him arriving in Kyiv. And we were just speaking to Luke Pollard, weren't we, the Defence Minister? And he reminded us that actually the first guest that Andy Burnham welcomed to Number 10 was, of course, Volodymyr Zelensky.
Indeed.
And now he has chosen his first foreign trip to be to Kyiv, to be to Ukraine. So these are the pictures we're just receiving now of Andy Burnham stepping off the train in Kyiv.
What is he wearing?
It looks like a navy blue T-shirt. Polo.
Joking me. I'll put a suit on, Prime Minister, for goodness sake.
To be fair, Volodymyr Zelensky wouldn't be in a suit. So
no, but Volodymyr Zelensky's country's being bombed currently. I'm happy the Prime Minister's gone to Ukraine. I think it's a very important ally, but I really do hope he has a bit of an outfit change. This is the first time Ukrainians will be seeing our Prime Minister. I wouldn't fill me with confidence as a man who's wearing something that looks like it's come off of an online shop
Everybody else has managed to be in a suit, haven't they?
Yes, yeah. Very important that we look serious on the world stage. This is not a trip to a city in the United Kingdom. I don't think this is a good look.
Let us know what you think on that. You will have an opinion. gbnews.com/you'll say. Now, at 10 minutes past 7, let's look at our top story this morning because tributes continuing to pour in for the 2 brave police officers who were killed in the early hours of Saturday morning. It's after they were involved in a horrific wrong-way collision with 5 young people.
PC Matthew Blades, 37 years old, and PC Tom Clow, 38 years old, died when the Volkswagen Passat travelled the wrong way along the A66 near Middlesbrough and collided with their police vehicle.
Well, PC Clough, a veteran who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, has been described by his family as their hero.
Yes, the widow of PC Blades, who was a coach at FC Hartlepool, where his young sons played, paid tribute to her beloved husband.
Oh, the crash also claimed the lives of 5 young men, aged between 16 and 23.
Well, according to reports, the video has emerged of one of the teenagers' TikTok accounts and appears to show him involved in a car chase with police months before the incident. We're now joined by founder of Fair Cop, Harry Miller, to talk a little bit more about this. Harry, the fact that these young lads, and we will talk about these, I'd like to reflect at the end about on these brave officers as well, but the fact that last point we were just reading there, these kids had already on their TikTok account had evidence of them in some sort of car chase or doing some very, very dangerous stuff. Yes, it remained on social media, no arrests clearly made, and has now resulted in them, not only them losing their lives, but very brave police officers losing their lives too, Harry.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to start by seeing a motor vehicle for what it is. In the hands of normal people, it's a very useful device from getting from A to B. In the hands of idiots who have no respect for life, who have no respect for society, whose only pursuit is to get themselves as TikTok stars and thrill themselves, it becomes a deadly weapon. It's just as deadly as walking down the high street with an AK-47 and randomly firing shots off. What we need to do with such people, we need to see them as clear and present dangers to the general public, to police, to other drivers, other road users. And we need to get them off the road. And by get them off the road, I don't mean taking their licenses off them, because that is not going to stop them. I don't mean taking their cars off them and crushing them, although that would be a start, because that is not going to stop them. What they will do, and it seems as though it's happened in this case, because I believe they were using clone plates, is they're quite happy to steal other people's motor cars. The way that you stop this from happening is putting them in a position where they can no longer drive. And you do that by throwing them at the very first opportunity into prison. And you leave them there for a long, long time. A motor vehicle driven in that way is just as deadly as an AK-47, and that has got to be our starting point on this.
We've got you'll be very familiar with a similar case just last week in County Kildare. Young people joyriding a vehicle the wrong way down a road. All 5 young people dying in that vehicle as well. The Irish are now looking at bringing in new legislation that would essentially mean that anybody driving the wrong way down a road could be charged with attempted murder. They're hoping that would be enough of a deterrent to stop this TikTok trend continuing. Do you think that would make a difference? Do you think that needs to happen here as well?
Yeah, I do. I think what we need to do is recognise, as I say, that a police car, that a vehicle driven the wrong way down a road on purpose is a dangerous, lethal weapon. So we have to elevate it to that degree of seriousness. Once we do that, then we have a good opportunity to put these people before the courts and keep them inside, keep them in prison where they are, where they, you know, their recklessness is no longer demonstrated on the public highway. We have to do whatever it takes to lock them up. That needs to happen, because no amount of pleading with them, no amount of re-education, no amount of anything is going to stop these idiots from being idiots. The only thing that we have to do is put them in prison. That's, as far as I'm concerned, is what prisons were designed for, is to stop repeat offenders like this.
Harry, I think it's also worth a moment just reflecting on the two very brave officers that have lost their lives. And of course, you know, we have so many brave police officers out protecting the British public day to day. And I know they get a lot of flack at the moment because of admin decisions made way above them. But the day-to-day workings of a police officer are dangerous. Their families also sometimes wonder whether they're going to come home. Harry, just give us an insight as to what it's like for the everyday copper.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you right now. My stepdaughter this morning got up very early and went to do her 12-hour shift in Humberside Police. Every morning, both myself and my wife say a little prayer, because we worry. We know full well that she's going to face some horrendous things. We know full well that she's going to be called upon to do things that you and I would not want to do. But we always expect her to come home. The fact of the matter is, every now and again in this country, police officers do not come home. And this has been the case with Tom Clough and Matt Blades, because they have come across the worst, the very worst of our society. So my thoughts are with every police officer this morning who has gone to do their shift, every police officer who will be on their shift tonight. And I have no thoughts other than contempt for the people that killed them.
Well said, Harry. Thank you very much for joining us this morning on GB News Breakfast.
Thank you very much. Really sombre front pages today. I know when we were talking about this story this morning, Ellie, they're so young, these guys.
Yeah, 38 and 37 respectively. This is Tom Clough and Matthew Blades.
And Tom Clough, an Iraq, Afghanistan veteran, so he served in 2 wars to protect British people. He survived all of that.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, idiots in this country have killed him. And I just cannot fathom what has to go through. Look, I know young people do stupid things. I urge any parents watching at home, you don't always know what your kids are getting up to. Have a word with them. Have a word. Check the social media accounts if you can for dangerous stuff like this. It's been going on forever. We know kids will always find new ways to do dangerous things. But goodness me, this is an avoidable tragedy.
This is such a sickening trend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just, as you say, completely unavoidable. Yeah. And these 2 brave PCs just out doing their job, serving their community. They were out looking after the public when everybody else was tucked up in bed in the early hours of Saturday morning. And we really like this photo, don't we, of Tom Clough, which is on the front page of most of the newspapers this morning, holding a duckling. And I think that is testament, isn't it, to actually these were brave but gentle family men, both of them, and their wives both paying tribute to them. Tom Clough being a veteran, Matthew Blades being a referee at his son's football club. He had 2 young sons. And those families are just broken.
They are.
Absolutely devastated. Yeah. And those tributes, if you do get a chance to look at anything today, have a look at those tributes. It is so very moving.
It really is. And Ellie and I, you know, on behalf of the channel, our thoughts go out. Everyone here at GB News is thinking of the families affected today, and thinking of our brave servicemen and women who put their lives on the line to serve this country. So thank you for your service if you are one of those people watching this morning before perhaps you go out to do a shift today. We appreciate your service to Britain, and thank you for the dangerous work that you do to keep us all safe.
Yeah, we don't take it for granted.
We don't.
On a previous TikTok-related crash, the social media giant have said that they are closely monitoring content related to the incident and they are removing videos and accounts that break the rules. They also said they would remove content that depicts activities likely to be copied, and that would cause significant physical harm, including risky driving.
All right, let's take a quick look at your weather with Greg Dewhurst.
Expect Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello there, good morning and welcome to your latest GB News weather. High pressure still in charge of our weather today. Plenty of dry weather and pleasant spells of sunshine as well. Bit of a fresh start in places this morning, some mist and fog patches, but they'll soon clear and then a fine day to come. The cloud will bubble up as we move through the day, particularly into the afternoon across eastern areas, perhaps thick enough for 1 or 2 showers, but the vast majority it will be dry and bright. A much sunnier day for western parts, particularly Northern Ireland, where it's quite cloudy over the weekend. Temperatures rising into the low 20s, 24, 25 Celsius possible. A little cooler in the east with that easterly breeze. As we look at the details for the evening time, fine end today across Scotland, plenty of sunny spells, temperatures still in the low 20s come 5-6 p.m. Plenty of sunshine as well for Northern Ireland, parts of Northern England. Still some cloud, but this will start to melt away as we move through the evening time. 1 or 2 light showers perhaps towards the Lincolnshire and the Wash into East Anglia. A bit of an easterly breeze, just making it feel a little cooler here. And then perhaps an increasing chance of some showers moving in across the far south as we head through the latter part of the evening into the early hours. Some of this could turn heavy as it pushes towards the south coast. A bit of uncertainty how quickly this will push northwards. More cloud around overall means temperatures not quite as low tonight compared to the weekend, generally staying in double figures, some low cloud and fog to start the day. But on Tuesday, a bright start in the north, cloudy in the south, the increasing risk of some showers pushing northwards. These perhaps turning a little heavy and thundery later on. 1 or 2 showers starting to develop parts of Northern Ireland and Scotland later. And a bit of an easterly breeze still means the east is cooler, but the west temperatures 24, 25, starting to feel more humid too.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Now, do stay with us. Still to come, the Conservative MP Tom Tugendhat is joining us. We're going to be talking to him about these rumours that Kemi Badenoch is planning to block candidates from running in the next election if they don't agree with her on ECHR and scrapping net zero.
Interesting stuff. But first, with the rise of artificial intelligence, are CVs increasingly irrelevant when you're applying for a job? So we're going to debate that next.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Bold.
They are under no illusion.
Ray.
Are you a human trafficker?
Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get us on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline. Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What I'm going to do now, they are throwing things out the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Cates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Do you trust what you're being told? Good, because neither do I.
Those are just facts.
I'm Alex Armstrong, and on my show, we'll expose the spin.
Well, I want to answer that because you didn't let me last time, because you always speak over me.
The broken promises.
To deny that is denying the truth.
And the hypocrisy.
Needs to stop. You think we can allow?
Politics, policy, parliament. Nothing is off limits. No sugarcoating, no fear of offence, just the truth laid bare. Tune in every Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. for Alex Armstrong Tonight, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation, isn't it?
No,
Because the failure is
you're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back,
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
and we do not shy away from the difficult stuff.
Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood.
So join me on Dubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m. only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Some people enjoy lazy Sunday mornings, but not me.
What's the truth of the matter? So that's a very live question. Would you support him if he waters down these plans?
Before the spin sets in, I'll be getting to the truth.
This is personal.
No soft questions, no easy answers.
It's one thing if the state has rules in this country. It's another thing whether the police and others actually police them.
Setting the agenda and holding those in power to account.
You can't really blame her if the system is set up this way. You will not want to miss it, trust me.
The Camilla Tominey Show, Sundays from 9:30, only on GB News.
All right, can employers trust the CV in front of them was written by a real person?
Probably not anymore.
Yeah, there's all these new AI tools being brought out to try and
Jazz it up.
But then there's another AI tool that will come out to counter that AI tool.
Yeah.
Anyway, many business owners are now asking candidates for video profiles rather than written ones, as AI helped make many appear more capable than they actually are.
So our question this morning is, have CVs become redundant?
Well, actually, they should have done this for some of the cabinet, but there we go. To debate this, we're joined by businessman entrepreneur Mike Green and CEO of Higher Education Policy Institute, Nick Hillman. Good morning, you two. Nick, we'll start with you. What do you make of this?
Is that to me? No, sorry.
That's to Nick.
I think it's an absurd idea. I think it's a terrible idea. I mean, I run a small organisation and we recruit people, and the CV is the single most useful piece of information we receive from them. Yes, occasionally they may have used AI to help put it together. I don't particularly mind that because people familiar with AI are quite useful. I would mind if they'd used it to write the covering letter that attaches the CV. But remember, a CV is really a list of your past achievements. And if you don't know that, then you're completely clueless when it comes to recruiting people.
Mike, that's a good point, isn't it? You should know this stuff anyway.
Well, if AI is writing the CV, then who are we really seeing? Are we seeing the person or are we seeing the AI? The first thing I'd say is that when it comes to recruitment, it's the biggest cost for most businesses, and people are the biggest determining factor of whether they're going to be successful. So we should never look for efficiency over authenticity in that. But too many people are using AI to the extent that AI can make a monkey look like a mastermind. And I want to know who I'm meeting first. So I would much rather see some quick, unexpected, unscripted answers, maybe on a video or a quick call to do that first filter. The functionality of qualification is a separate part of the CV, but it does not tell me the person that's going to work for me.
But Mike, just to respond quickly, I'll bring this over to you as well, Nick. But Mike, is it not the case that people have been falsifying their CVs forever? We've seen some very high-profile examples of that over the last couple of years. This is now just levelling the playing field. So surely, with the filtering part comes when you get to those interview stages anyway. Is that not a way to look at it?
Yeah, look, I'm a great user of AI and I think it's an incredible tool. The problem is that people are defaulting to it almost entirely now. And rather than it just embellish a CV and add some kind of icing, it's becoming the whole CV. People are lazily using it. And we can't trust what we're seeing anymore as being the real person that we might interview.
Nick, can we not trust CVs anymore?
Well, you can always, of course, grill your candidate at interview to check whether the CV is accurate or not. And whether someone's used AI to put their CV together, that's not where the lies come in. The lies would have come in when they'd given the AI the instruction to do it. And anyway, when I've received AI-generated CVs, you can normally tell. An employer worth their salt can tell a good CV from a generated one. And of course, if AI can be used for CVs, it can be used for these videos that Mike's suggesting as well. Why is a video any more accurate than a piece of paper?
Mike, over to you.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can see in a video interview with somebody. I'm not talking about recording a video. When I've interviewed people in the past and I've employed thousands, the first thing we did actually, rather than get a CV, was get them to complete a behavioural profile, which takes about 4 minutes, and it tells me the person behaviourally. They're very accurate. They've been around for decades. It can be done really cheaply now. It used to be very expensive, but that behavioural profile will tell me the person I'm getting before I look at whether they're qualified to do it. That's really what I'm looking for. Are they going to fit the role? Are they going to fit the behaviour of the company? And I'd say if you wanted a first filter, getting a CV that's probably been written by AI that can make anyone look great isn't probably the best measure of a person.
All right, Mike, Nick, thank you both very much for joining us this morning. I think we're going to be having those debates a lot more regularly.
I think we are.
Yeah. I know even now, big social media companies that host people's CVs, like LinkedIn, for example, they want to make it as easy as possible for you to apply. So one button to apply. So,
really?
Yeah, how about that?
Let us know what you think on that one.
All right. Still to come, Conservative MP Tom Tugendhat is joining us to talk about what's going on in the Conservative Party there. Plus, it's robot mania. What is going on here? There are the robots. Yeah, there they are.
Yeah.
Coming to a mansion property near you to evaluate your homes, perhaps. That'll be the next use of them, rather than boring football.
Pause.
Thank you, Britain, for the thousands of you who are becoming friends of GB News each and every week.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. The A34 is closed after the A303 at Bullington Cross. The M25 anti-clockwise has a queue between junctions 24 and 23 at South Mimms. The M62 westbound is closed between junctions 23 and 22 at Saddleworth. In Scotland, the A78 is closed in both directions from Dunlop Street to A8 Ratho Street. Across Wales, the M4 eastbound from J24 Coldra to J23A Mega is congested, and on the trains, Greater Anglia and East Midlands railway services are facing disruption. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
Britain is not just a geographical expression. We are a people bound together by history and culture that are distinctively British. Join me to celebrate our music, theatre, artworks and literature, which we can explore and enjoy together.
Everybody's welcome.
Sunday with Michael Costello. Every Sunday at 11 a.m. on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country. There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor. Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Exciting news. Every Friday, my Patrick Christie's Tonight Show is going to have a twist to it. We're welcoming some special guests. You. That's right, on Fridays I'm going to be doing my show in front of a live studio audience because this show is about you and what you have to say. It's going to be the same big debates, same big topics, same big opinions, but every Friday night at 9 p.m. you are invited to come on down to Patrick Christie's Tonight to be a part of the action. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Welcome Welcome back to Breakfast. It's 7:33. I'm delighted to say that we're joined now by Tom Tugendhat, Conservative MP for Tonbridge. Very good morning to you, Mr Tugendhat.
Morning, Ellie.
Can we start by paying tribute to two very brave police constables who very sadly lost their lives in the early hours of Saturday morning, Tom Clough and Matthew Blades. I'm sure you've seen the very emotional family tributes from their wives this morning. How can we keep our police officers safe when they are serving our communities? We saw a very similar crash, didn't we, just last week in County Kildare in Ireland. We've got the Irish talking now about bringing in legislation to essentially be able to criminalise people and to charge them with attempted murder if they're driving the wrong way down a road deliberately. Do you think that's something that needs to happen in this country as well?
Look, I think the Irish have made an interesting point there, because let's be clear, this isn't some sort of random accident where people made an honest mistake. This is people who deliberately chose to recklessly endanger lives. Now, they killed two police officers, one of whom was a fellow Iraq veteran, somebody who's quite literally given his entire life to serve us. Both of them have, actually. But it's not just that. It could have killed anybody. Could have killed absolutely anybody. And the idea that somehow or other this is some sort of reckless driving, no, it's much worse than that. It is absolutely criminal. It is an attempt of murder. And it's absolutely appalling that sites like TikTok, which, as we all know, are edited by the Chinese Communist Party in Beijing, that's where the algorithm is, that's where the control is, are using this to encourage not just views but sales and trying to make money out of it.
Mr Tugendhat, I want to talk to you about the threats this country is facing at the moment. Particularly, we saw the case of a power plant in this country, a civilian infrastructure being targeted by the terrorist regime in Iran. You're a former Army Reserve officer, or you're a current Army Reserve officer perhaps, and a former security minister. We spoke to the government this morning, Defence Minister Luke Pollard. The question I put to him very similar: what should we do? Have we done anything? The answer seemed to be we've done nothing to show our enemies we're not going to be bullied by them. If the Conservative Party was in government, would you retaliate?
Well, I think the most important thing to say about this is what this is Iran demonstrating its capability. This isn't some sort of random hack by a couple of people in Tehran. This is the Iranian state demonstrating clearly to us that they have the capability to take down our power grid. What they're trying to do is they're trying to show us that we are vulnerable and that they can strike back. Well, if I were in government right now, I would be having the intelligence chief, the agency heads into the cabinet office and making it absolutely clear that I expect them to prioritise national resilience over everything. I expect them to make absolutely certain that electricity plants, water plants, other sort of areas of critical national infrastructure are appropriately protected, not just from cyber attack, this is cyber attack, of course, but also from the kind of sabotage that we've seen Russia conducting in other European countries, and making sure that we're safe. Now, when I was the security minister, one of the things we created was the NPSA, which is MI5's, as it were, public-facing branch. It's an element of MI5 that helps companies keep themselves safe. Now, I would be making sure that they were reaching out to all those areas of critical national infrastructure and making sure that they are safe. Because it's great that Andy Burnham's in Ukraine. It's fantastic that we're supporting Ukraine, but we must be safe at home.
But just to be clear, Mr. Tugendhat, because again, I feel like British people are seeing our country being made fools of. I think we look like sitting ducks in this war. The former Prime Minister said this was not our war in Iran. It clearly is our war, isn't it? We're being targeted by the Iranians. And yet, when civilian infrastructure here, despite the fact we haven't taken part in an offensive war against Iran, we haven't struck their country or indeed their regime, British civilian infrastructure is being targeted. We're going to do nothing. Is that the appropriate action?
I'm slightly cautious about answering the question. Let me tell you why I'm cautious. Okay, first of all, Iran has been targeting us for not 6 months or not even a year, but for about 20 or 30 years in various different ways, right? They've attempted to assassinate journalists here. There's over 20 incidents where we know that they've tried to murder people in the United Kingdom. Now, I'm very glad to say that our intelligence services have done a fantastic job in preventing them. And we have been absolutely clear that we will not tolerate it. Now, there are things that we have been able to do in various different places to dissuade and to prevent Iran from striking back, but I'm not going to talk about them publicly for very obvious reasons. We rely on a network of friends and allies, and we have taken action. But the idea that somehow, I don't support the actions that the President of the United States has taken since February, but the idea that we're not somehow included is complete rubbish. Iran, Russia absolutely believe that we are somehow the head of the snake, that somehow or other we are the evil geniuses behind everything that goes wrong. Well, look, first of all, that's not true. But secondly, we know that that means that they think that we are the prime target for anything that they should do. So that means we need to be resilient. And that's why when I was talking about resilience earlier, it is the job of government to tell the agency chiefs where the priority should be, exactly how they should be prioritizing the resources they have and making sure they have the resources available. And that's why I'm so frustrated when I heard the other day John Healey saying that he's not going to be increasing defence spending to 3.5% by in this budget that's coming up in October, November, but instead it's going to wait till the spending round next March, April. Now, do you think Iran is waiting? Do you think Russia's waiting? Because I can tell you they're not. They're taking action right now, and that's exactly what we need to be doing.
Mr Tugendhat, we're almost out of time with you, but you're here today to talk to us about this exposé. You've got Labour's sinister plot to send tax snoopers into your home. Tell us more.
Yeah, look, it's pretty extraordinary, isn't it? The idea that you're going to have somebody knocking on the door of every house in the UK and trying to check out whether your house is worth a pound more than your neighbour's. I mean, the idea is so un-British. It is so nanny state. It is so interventionist state. Only a true socialist could have come up with it. It's completely insane because we all know what's going to happen. We're going to have people who are going to get arrested for not allowing some Jobsworth from Whitehall to snoop around their house. And how is that fair? Englishmen, Scotsmen, Welshmen, Irishmen should not be faced with the bureaucratic hand of the state trying to get through their front door to tell them what they owe. It's completely ridiculous.
Yeah, I think that seems to be the overwhelming reaction from our audience as well, Mr Tugendhat. So thank you very much for joining us this morning. We do appreciate your time talking about these very serious issues facing the country today. So thank you for that. Thank you, Mr Tugendhat.
Thank you. Right. 7:40, it's sports time. Paul Coates here with us. Morning.
Giving up on football now. That's
no. Well, it wasn't good, was it? Let's go.
Spurs lost 3-0
It really wasn't good.
to Brentford. Manchester United didn't have a good time of it either. Aston Villa, though, even worse. Aston Villa's like a disaster at the moment. So they went to Brighton. Within 30 minutes, they are 4 down, which could have been more. Villa, they won the they won the Europa League, and it just seems everything's collapsed around them. Morgan Rogers has gone. Yuri Tillman's gone. Ezri Konsa, Luca Digne. Now, Ollie Watkins didn't turn up. He didn't like he was going to be there either. He wants out. Nightmare debut for João Gomez, who got sent off. If you're a Villa fan, you're going from what you saw during May to win that trophy to now. What is going to happen? So not good there, but very good for Brighton. Very good for Brighton. Because Brighton were good. Brighton were good.
Well done, Brighton.
Newcastle 2, Liverpool 2. Perfect game after the death of Kevin Keegan. Because if ever there was going to be a game to pay tribute to Kevin Keegan, that's just the way it fell. First game of the season. Liverpool legend, Newcastle legend. Some of the tributes we'll hopefully see in just a second that were out on, which were in the crowd, and it was a huge banners, etc. So it was a lovely tribute to him. Anyway, the game did him proud as well. Ended up 2-2. Newcastle, though, seconds away from beating Liverpool at St James's Park for the first time since 2015. Then Liverpool got a penalty right at the end, 99th minute, so that ended up 2-2. Newcastle manager Matthias Jaisler, did he think it was a penalty? Because I did.
I have clear thoughts. Probably you saw that in my reaction. For me, it's a really soft penalty, as you call it here, I guess. So if you give these penalties, then you need to give a lot throughout the match and a lot throughout the season. And I don't know if this is for good of football.
That's what we call it here, the soft penalty.
It's for the good of football.
Oh, they call it in Germany.
It's for the good of football.
Yeah. Manchester City 2, Bournemouth 1. Bournemouth are 1 up. But most importantly about Manchester City is Erling Haaland's haircut. Ellie,
yes.
I'm going to come to you on this. Let's see the before Erling Haaland, then how the hair look. See, look, we've got a hat on the damn hair, so we can't even see the whole hair. So there we are. Look, even the bun. But it was a very long, flowing locks. So let's see what he put on. There we are. This is on Instagram. There's the hair. And there he is now. There's the new buzz cut.
I'm not sure.
Are you not
about this.
sure?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure a buzz cut at the best of times, but I am worried about Erling Haaland, because what if he's like Samson?
Well, this is
and
it.
And the power was in the hair.
That's it. Because, yeah, it's been said that I was thinking exactly the same thing.
And,
you two might be the only people who are actually thinking that.
Hey, I was. Well, you know, Zlatan Ibrahimovic said the same thing. Said the power is in the hair. And so, yeah, the hair's got... So maybe...
You never know.
But at least it could grow back again, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could always grow back.
At least it was after the World Cup, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the wrong season as well to go for a buzz cut. Get a cold head.
Well, it's not... Well, it's very warm at the moment. You know, that's
I know, but we're heading into...
Oh, you're thinking forward. Always forward thinking.
I know. Always one step ahead of the game.
Have we got time for the robots, do you think, or do we want to wait?
Can we hold it for the next? Because I really want to talk about these robots. I want to have a good discussion about these things.
You've teased it well.
These are humanoids. Scares the life out.
It's going to change the game. There'll be humanoid robots.
Change everything. This is athletics humanoids. Yeah. It's like a world sports championship, which is going on in China at the moment.
Yeah.
So more.
This is live at the moment.
Is this live? Are we actually going live to see two
live to the Chinese
robots
robot
fighting
wars.
each other?
It's very creepy. We're doing that soon, aren't we?
Yeah, we will. We'll do that now.
Yeah. So there you go. Live pictures. We'll try and bring you some more of those when the next sports up. So there we go.
And we're also randomly going to London Zoo to do the weigh-in, the annual weigh-in.
So we do that every year, don't we?
And we can cheer on as all the animals get weighed. That'll be fun.
Should we guess the weight?
I think we should.
Let's guess the weight.
We'll make it into a game, I'm sure. Thanks, Morty.
Thanks, guys. We will see you very shortly with James Rampton and Dawn Neeson to go through the papers.
Good afternoon, Britain. Weekdays from midday.
I might shock you because I do understand why there are people that perhaps will need to take this because of medical issues. I get that, urgent medical issues. But let's face it, this is actually the greedy goods pill. That's what this is. Do I think it will make people lazy in society? Common sense, of course it will. We all want the magic pill. The concern, of course, with the pill, I'm sure the pharmacists will agree, is the potential side effects of these pills. We need to take personal responsibility in the UK, and at the moment, when it comes to health and many other things, we don't.
Thorin, I could see you shaking your head a little bit there. What do you think?
Well, look, it's not a magic pill. It's a medical intervention for a complex condition. I think calling people lazy is just an easy thing to do because it assumes that people who are struggling with weight just need more motivation.
The People's Channel. Good afternoon, Britain. Weekdays from midday.
I'm thrilled to say now I'm joined by another World War II veteran.
In my judgment, the Mosquito was a better aircraft because it's got two Spitfire engines.
And you flew it all over Europe. You told me that you had a particularly memorable flight near Berlin. What happened there?
A shell came up underneath, it lifted up the aircraft and it interfered for a brief period with the fuel supply. I didn't know. All I knew was I'd got the propellers were windmilling around and we hadn't any power. And eventually the power came on again. And I leaned across to Doug, my navigator. He was a Canadian, a wonderful bloke. And I said to him, you weren't frightened, were you, Doug? And he said, no, I wasn't frightened, I was bloody terrified.
GB News.
We're only here for like 12 hours. We're flying home at 11 o'clock tonight.
Oh, and mummy and daughter.
Yeah, and it only costs £70, so we thought, well, why not? Because it's cheaper than a supermarket shop.
Supermarket shop or spending the day in Benidorm with cheap booze.
It's a no-brainer, isn't it? It's a no-brainer.
And is there no chance you might just decide we're going to stay?
No, because my husband would kill me.
We did consider it because I said to my mum earlier on, we might just stay and miss the flight, but she's not up for it.
Has your husband actually visited Benidorm the Zone?
No, he hasn't. I've been here 27 times. That's my daughter's first time. She's a Benidorm virgin. But
well,
my husband's never been.
Not that he's told you anyway, let's put it like that.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Now, just time to tell you about the Great British Giveaway because it's the new one. And it's the biggest one of the year so far.
Isn't it?
Brand new camper van worth £75,000 plus £35,000 in tax-free cash. Here are all of the details that you need.
It's the biggest, greatest Great British giveaway of the year so far. It's your chance to win a whopping £110,000 prize package that comes in 2 terrific parts. You'll be able to explore Great Britain and beyond in this, your very own motorhome. Courtesy of Marquis Leisure, this brand new McClure Fusion could be yours. It comfortably sleeps 4 with spacious lounge area for entertaining and fully fitted kitchen and bathroom. Plus, you can drive it on your standard driving licence. We'll also boost your bank account too with a further £35,000 in tax-free cash to spend however you like. Make sure you don't miss out on this £110,000 prize package.
For a chance to win a motorhome and cash, text prize to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus 1 standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB23 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 23rd of October. We may call the winner live after all entry routes have closed. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Welcome back, everybody. Right, well, let's talk about the front pages, because joining us we have Dawn Neeson and James Rampton. Good morning, you two.
Morning.
And I want to this story.
You like this one, don't you?
Because it's absolutely absurd. It's absurd, Dawn. Calamity Lammy strikes again.
Oh, bless him. David Lammy, yes, of course. Remember the Prime Minister ended up having a conversation with that sort of like fake White House staff member? Well, the Prime Minister was given the telephone number by David Lammy. It was just a fraudster pretending to be Donald Trump's chief of staff. And David Lammy thought he would get brownie points with the new Prime Minister by handing over this telephone number. But it was a fake number. And it was all part of a Russian cyber warfare unit called Centre 16. Evidently. So while it's funny that it is Calamity Lammy who thought he was currying favour, there is a serious side to it as well. It's just how close the Russians actually get to fooling our politicians. Not that difficult, though, is it, really?
Well,
to be honest.
You might say there's a very low bar to cross there.
Yeah, exactly.
However, I absolutely agree that their ability to infiltrate our society, I'm sure lots of things happen that we don't know about, that the government is not publicising. This is something that has got into the public domain. But it's scary when we're on the brink of, diplomatic catastrophe and perhaps more with Russia, that they can inveigle their way into the Prime Minister and get him to perhaps say things to an agent, basically, really, really is alarming.
It's worse than that, James. It's not just got to the Prime Minister through, our diplomatic service. It's gone through the previous Deputy Prime Minister.
Well,
I mean, you can't make it up.
There is rarely such a good nickname as Calamity Lammy. You have to say, if the cap fits. Yeah. And, he's not in the government now, it has to be said.
Thank goodness for that.
I wonder why.
All right, moving on.
Let's have a look, James, at Meghan Markle. Sorry, Dawn, we are just
Lala.
Meghan's role that we heard about, that she was offered in this Netflix show, we're now not sure that it was even in existence in the first place. Tell us more.
I'm sorry, Dawn, if you're going to storm off the stage like Piers Morgan did that time. But I do think this is an interesting angle. Like Dawn, I sometimes have a physical aversion to stories about this couple. However, I think it is interesting that this new report suggests, everyone's been saying, she came back because she was offered this very glamorous role in high-profile Guy Ritchie's series called The Gentleman, which, by the way, hasn't even been commissioned for a new series yet. And this suggestion is that this story might have been leaked by her PR people. Yeah, I know. I'm shocked and horrified as well.
Stuff like that.
In order to boost her popularity and make it seem like she's in demand, insiders have dismissed it as a cynical PR ploy. But the thing is with PR ploys, they can so easily backfire and come and bite you on the unmentionables. And I think this is another example where Meghan and Harry have attempted to control the narrative, and it's run out of their control, and it's ended up harming them.
Now, the alternative side to this is that this wasn't a PR stunt, and that actually she did get the role, and it was in advanced stages, Dawn. I know you don't want to talk about that.
What are you talking to me?
Putting it to you. Come on. Go on, you can do it. And... Are we being a little bit unfair? Has all of this backlash... Would it have been that bad if she'd appeared in a TV show? She is an actress after all. They're privacies. Would it have been that bad?
Sorry? Did you say something? Look, I mean, people go, why do you hate Meghan and Harry? I do not hate Meghan and Harry. I don't care enough to hate Meghan and Harry. But if you want me to talk about it with a gun to my head, the thing is, I mean, The Gentleman is made by Netflix. Meghan and Harry were...
series.
Yeah, it was a good series. Were under contract with Netflix when Netflix decided that they weren't worth all the money they were paying them. So I do wonder whether Netflix had more to do with this than we know about. Netflix are going, oh my God, not her again. I thought we got rid of her. And maybe they have said, look, you know, The Gentleman will go ahead, but we don't want her in it. I mean, I don't know. I'm just making this up. I don't know. I don't
Gina
care.
Brown, who is very well connected, former editor of Vanity Fair, over the weekend said that she thought that the backlash had made the idea of her coming into that series untenable. Because, you know, Guy Ritchie is a very well-known director, but he's not as well known as Meghan Markle. She would have sucked all the oxygen out of the room, and it would have been all about her rather than the actual series.
But I'll put this to you, actually, Ellie.
OK.
Yeah, you're not escaping, Ellie, come on.
This would have been a really big moment, wouldn't it? Because it would have been the best PR for this TV series. I mean, it's a good TV series.
Would it, though?
Well, because seeing her go back to the screen again for the first time in, what, a decade, it's a big moment, and she's more famous than she ever has been.
But I also think you run the risk because she is a Marmite character, isn't she? So many people would switch off or completely boycott it.
People just watch it for the sake of
they would.
I don't know. I think a lot of people would tune in. I think also a lot of people would turn off. Look, we all know the cost of food has gone up, don't we?
Oh, yes.
Let's just quickly look, James, at the cost of a Sunday roast. It's gone up 50% in 5 years.
I mean, this is really shocking that we all love a Sunday roast, and in fact, it's one of the great British traditions. But the price has soared by 50% in the last 5 years. It's gone up to an average of £22.89 from £14.99 in 2021.
I've really noticed it, actually.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I had one, and I foolishly said I'd pay for my 3 children, and I ended up saying I'm going to have to do more shifts at GB News. It's the only way I can pay for this.
Which is a joy working
Which
with
is an
us.
absolute joy, and I was delighted to do so. But the necessity was that I had to work even harder because I'd paid for 5 Sunday roasts.
Yeah, it's not just your Sunday meat and 2 veg that gone up either. It's a portion of chips, fish and chips as well. Can't afford that either.
Kebabs, all our favourites.
Fish and chips now for a portion, what would you be paying? On the seafront, you'd pay £12, £14.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing, 14 quid.
Well, £46 for a family of 4. Which is ridiculous.
Yeah, for one meal.
All right, you two, look, loads more to come in the papers in the next hour, but still to come here. Do women really need a man to get by in life?
No.
That's going to be our next
Spoiler alert, no.
It's my job, isn't it? Plus, Reform Deputy Leader Richard Tice is joining us.
Thank you, Britain, for making GB News Radio such a huge success. Whether you're in the car, on the go, or listening at home, thank you for choosing us as your radio station.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. The A34 is closed after the A303 at Bullington Cross. The M4 westbound is affected by a collision between junctions 5 and 6 at Langley, with lanes closed. In Scotland, the A737 eastbound has queuing and 2 lanes restricted between the A761 and Elderslie. Across Wales, the A470 southbound from Nantgarv to Corriton is congested with possible delays. And on the trains, Greater Anglia has major disruption between Shenfield and Southend Victoria and disruption between Tottenham Hale and London Liverpool Street. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
It's the biggest, greatest Great British giveaway of the year so far. Courtesy of Marquis Leisure, this brand new McClure Fusion could be yours. We'll also boost your bank account too with a further £35,000 in tax-free cash to spend however you like.
For a chance to win, text prize to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entry start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB23 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 23rd of October. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
At the stroke of midnight, the news doesn't stop, and neither do we.
Day in, day out. Forget stuffy late night TV shows. We're giving you a front row ticket to the centre of the political universe.
Because breaking news doesn't wait for the morning.
And neither do we. Join us for one of the most controversial and volatile times of politics in human history.
A very big story.
Big story over here.
You won't get this anywhere else. The Late Show live at midnight, every night.
Only on GB News.
Bold.
They are under no illusion.
Ray.
Are you a human trafficker?
Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get us on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline. Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What I'm going to do now, they are throwing things out the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m. only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Good morning. The 2 police officers who died when a car travelling the wrong way down a dual carriageway crashed into their vehicle are hailed as heroes by their families.
Yes, more than £260,000 now has been raised for their loved ones, as the 5 men, in the Volkswagen that crashed into them are also identified.
Well, a flurry of reports have linked the crash to a dangerous TikTok joyriding trend. After 2 eerily similar crashes in just 1 week, is it time to change the law to stop another tragedy unfolding?
Well, we spoke to Defence Minister Luke Pollard earlier, who had this to say about the trend.
The government has already spoken to the social media companies, telling them to take down that horrendous content that you rightly say is celebrating dangerous driving on our roads.
Meanwhile, Conservative MP Tom Tugendhat said this.
Let's be clear, this isn't some sort of random accident where people made an honest mistake. This is people who deliberately chose to recklessly endanger lives.
To put it simply, Vladimir, I want you to know that we've got your back. You can count on me and you can count on us. You can count on the UK.
Prime Minister Andy Burnham has arrived in Kyiv this morning, marking his first foreign trip since moving into number 10. But he's already garnering criticism after rocking up looking like this you can see on your screens without a suit.
Yeah, in a polo shirt. It's been revealed that graduates are facing the worst jobs market on record. So why are more teenagers than ever heading to university if it's not leading to a job?
So, working with local areas, Number 10 North will oversee the biggest council house building programme since the post-war period.
And Reform UK is giving Burnham's council housing shake-up a run for its money, supposedly, with their plans to prioritise homes for British-born families and veterans. We're putting that to Richard Tice just after 9 a.m.
The Princess of Wales has been captured looking relaxed, despite the drama that's taking over the royal family after news of a Brexit reversal.
A group of women who live in a female-only commune spark a conversation about whether women can live perfectly happily without men. Stay tuned for that interesting debate.
It's weigh-in day at London Zoo. We're going to be live there this hour.
And in sport this morning, Manchester City leave it late to beat Bournemouth. Liverpool leave it even later to draw at Newcastle, while Brighton take no time at all to thrash Aston Villa. Lando Norris wins the Dutch Grand Prix, and the most important thing of all, Erling Haaland cuts his hair off.
High pressure, keeping it dry and settled today, but changes are on the way later on in the week with some heavy rain on the way. Find out all the weather details for today coming up soon.
Good morning. It's just gone 8 o'clock. I'm Ellie Costello.
I'm Alex Armstrong, and this is GB News Breakfast.
So Andy Burnham has made his first foreign trip as Prime Minister to Ukraine. We've got these pictures of him disembarking the train in Kyiv this morning in a navy blue polo shirt.
I couldn't believe it when I saw this. Obviously, we saw the images very early this morning, and my jaw dropped. Look at the people around him. Look at even just the most, possibly lowest official there, in ties, in suits, in cultural dress, and our Prime Minister's decided to rock up in a polo shirt. It's totally performative. It's ridiculous. He's not looking like a man of the people. He looks like he's representing our country.
Well, this is it. This is his first impression on the world stage, and this was a choice, wasn't it, by Mr. Burnham when he stood in front of the mirror this morning? What should I wear on my first international visit? It will be the navy polo.
It beggars belief to me that this is a man who looks like he's been acting like he's been in office for 10 years and he's on his way out rather than actually trying to make an effort. He's representing our country and he's representing you and me, and I just don't think it's much to ask that he puts on at least a shirt. And I appreciate the train journey might have been a long one.
It's a sign of respect, isn't it?
Sign of respect.
To wear a suit.
Yeah.
Andrew Pearce, you will have a view on this. Andrew Pearce is sat in the studio with us. I'll put you on the spot now. What do you think?
Of course he should be dressed suited and booted. It's absurd. First trip abroad. Lots of people around the world think, oh, is that really the Prime Minister? He's got to get out of the mode of being Mayor of Manchester. He's not the Mayor anymore.
You're not in Manchester anymore?
No. Afraid it's not a good look. And look, we know that Zelensky wears his combat gear. That's fine. He's a war-torn Prime Minister. But I would have thought even Boris Johnson managed to turn up looking smart and respectable.
Yes, that's
his hair might have been a bit unkempt, but he was pretty smart.
He'd always wear a suit.
He would.
Andrew Pearce, thank you. We'll talk to you again in just a second.
And moving on, because tributes continue to pour in, of course, for the two brave police officers killed in early hours of Saturday morning after they were involved in a horrific wrong-way collision with 5 teenagers.
PC Matthew Blades and PC Tom Clough died when a Volkswagen Passat travelling the wrong way along the A66 near Middlesbrough collided with their police vehicle.
Yes, the crash also claimed the lives of 5 young men aged between 16 and 23.
Well, according to reports, a video has emerged of one of the teenagers' TikTok accounts that appeared to show him involved in a car chase with police months before the incident, so suggesting that this young man had form. Well, we're joined now by former police superintendent Leroy Logan, who joins us now. Very good morning to you, Leroy. Just want to bring you some news that we've got coming into the newsroom this morning, that actually that fundraiser for the families of those 2 brave police constables has actually risen by £30,000 just in the past 3 or so hours. I think this is demonstrative, isn't it, of how the public feel about this?
Yes, good morning. I just want to acknowledge the condolences for the officers' families and colleagues, and for wider public, and you can see the goodwill of the public behind police officers, especially when they are serving the country and putting themselves in danger.
Yeah, Leroy, this is unfortunately, it feels to me, I mean, we obviously only just had the news about PC Harper.
Yeah.
It's so fresh in my mind when I heard this story. And I think I know we can be very critical of the police administration and things that happen out, in the admin part of the police, the rules and things, but the actual day-to-day job of police officers up and down this country is dangerous. They put their lives on the line to look after our country and look after innocent citizens of this country. Leroy, what's it like for being in a family of where a police officer may be part of that family? It must be quite sometimes a difficult place.
Yes, I've been in the police service, and throughout my 30 years, from time to time, we would lose officers in the call of duty, making the ultimate sacrifice. And I've had to speak to families of officers who have passed. And, it's bad enough if it's just an accident, but when it's dangerous behavior leading to dead cops, it's an horrendous thing, and it impacts the family because they say goodbye to their loved ones going to work, and they should expect them to come back home. And unfortunately, we get situations where the officers don't come back home because of the reckless and dangerous behavior of individuals, and they create harm to officers and to the public. And as we know, the officers run towards the danger and to protect the public.
Leroy, you would have seen the horrific images coming out of County Kildare last week, a similar horror crash, 5 young men dead in that one as well. And it's thought that this is this sickening TikTok trend to deliberately drive the wrong way down a dual carriageway in order to evade the authorities. The Irish now are looking at having a separate offence that would essentially allow them to charge anybody who is as deliberately driving the wrong way down a dual carriageway. They could charge them with manslaughter. And they would hope that that would be enough of a deterrent to stop this TikTok trend from continuing. Do you think that would work? Do you think that would be enough of a deterrent to these dangerous young drivers?
I think there needs to be a very strong deterrent, and there needs to be a review of the law. Is it strong enough? Because it has to keep up with the danger that's being proposed or is posing in the tech world. And TikTok is showing this model that is so toxic and it's so influential that it's showing it's a national crisis. And I think it could be a global crisis that's creeping up on us, and it needs drastic action. So it needs the deterrent, but it needs to be the deterrent against the high-tech world of TikTok and everywhere else, because we know they use this model to create emotion, to generate numbers of people involved in those algorithms. And as a result of that, they need to be held to account. So they have to take down the content as soon as possible. They cannot allow these things to influence other people, and there has to be this strong deterrent for the tech world as well. And we already know that Meta is in the courts in America because of their harmful content. We need to get that going over here as soon as possible, because it's getting out of control, and we have got a crisis situation.
Indeed. Leroy, and again, just a reminder of what Ellie was briefing on the top of the conversation here, that fundraiser for the families of the 2 officers that have been sadly killed since we would come on air this morning at 6 a.m, it's gone up by £30,000 from £230,000 to £260,000, which I think is absolutely wonderful. I think this shows the incredible spirit of the British public when tragedies like this happen to our brave servicemen and women. They are servicemen and women. They serve us every day. They put their lives on the line. The British public will pull together to support families of those impacted. And I think it's a wonderful thing to see, despite I know this will never bring back their loved ones, and it will be very little consolation to them. But let's hope it can be some consolation, at least give them some relief to know that thousands of people will be behind them.
Yeah, absolutely. Leroy, thank you very much.
All right, we're going to move on to another story now. It's just gone 12 minutes past 8. The Prime Minister, Andy Burnham, has arrived in Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. This is his first international trip since he became Prime Minister, of course.
Well, the former Mayor of Manchester expected to meet Volodymyr Zelensky and chair his first meeting of the Coalition of the Willing, alongside other world leaders, to mark Ukraine's Independence Day.
A member of Ukraine's parliament, Kira Rudik joins us now. Good morning, Ms. Rudik. Thank you very much for joining us. We do appreciate your time. Another significant milestone. However, you must have seen countless British Prime Ministers at this point. Embarrassingly, perhaps for our country, has our commitment to Ukraine been as unwavering or perhaps a little bit more stable than the constant relay race of our Prime Ministers?
Hello, and thank you so much for having me. We really appreciate Prime Minister's visit on this important day. We celebrate Independence Day today. And me working with different parties in the United Kingdom and really indeed meeting many prime ministers, I can tell you one thing. We know for sure that support from the United Kingdom is not coming from politicians. It is coming from British people. And we see it every day. We see it in social media. We see it in media. We know it, we feel it, and we appreciate it. So for us, it's really not so important who is at the seat, but it is important what he or she represents. And this support continues, and today we expect some very important decisions being made. So as of right now, one of the bigger problems that Ukraine is facing is Russia's ballistic attacks, when they are able to manufacture ballistic missiles in bigger quantities than the Western world, unfortunately. And one would ask, why is it possible that after all the sanctions, Russia is still moving faster than the Western world? So Ukraine is offering right now that we will manufacture the interceptors ourselves. For that, we need license sharing from the countries like the United States and like the United Kingdom. So while President Trump has promised to share the Patriot missile systems manufacturing with Ukraine, Sir Andy Burnham has come and he said that he will do it today, sharing some of the information and set plans on how to manufacture the wide-range weapons in Ukraine. If that works, and I really hope it does, it will be huge.
But there are big questions, aren't there, Kira, about whether Ukraine is able to manufacture their own weapons. You are a country at war, and this is a very complex production line. Do you have confidence that you will be able to do this?
You're absolutely right. There are these concerns. However, you are able to do stuff when your life depends on that. And for us, we do not have too many options because, again, we cannot push other countries to manufacture enough of the weapons so we can defend ourselves. And eventually it will go down on us being responsible for ourselves. And this is why we came up with this offer, not because it's something that we know we can do really quickly. The time is of an essence, and this is why we appreciate that the United Kingdom is ready to move very fast in this.
Indeed.
Kira Rudik, just before we let you go this morning, there's a bit of a conversation on our page that we have, gbnews.com/you'll say. All of our viewers get in touch and message us. Lots of our viewers quite annoyed, actually, at the pictures of Andy Burnham getting off the train in Kyiv this morning, wearing a T-shirt, a polo shirt, in order to visit the country of Ukraine. This is his first foreign trip. Lots of people saying this is his first impression on the world stage. He should have been wearing a suit. Everybody else around him managing to wear a suit this morning. He should have dressed smartly to visit Ukraine and to meet Volodymyr Zelensky. What do you think? Does it bother you that he's not dressed in a suit this morning?
Well, I can tell you that people here are so elated to see the new Prime Minister, they probably wouldn't care about what he's wearing. And we really appreciate this decision to share the missiles with us because survival is all we care about. Also, it's a painful subject for us because you remember how President Zelensky was criticized by Trump in the Oval Office. This is why I don't think here in Ukraine, nobody ever would criticize anyone for wearing like the wrong thing. We are really happy and we appreciate this gesture of coming here.
I've had a feeling you might say that, but thank you very much for joining us as member of Ukraine's parliament there, Kira Rudik. Thank you so much and good luck with your struggles, of course, as well. We are fully supportive of your country at this difficult time. All right, shall we move on to another story? Because Reform UK is setting out its policy for social housing, the plan to prioritise British-born workers, young families and veterans.
Yes, the Deputy Leader, Richard Tice, is going to be telling us about that just after 9 o'clock this morning, so don't miss that. But for now, GB News presenter Andrew Pearce is here to tell us all about it. Morning,
Yeah, well,
Andrew.
they're doing a press conference about it later, which will be flat bang during our programme, which will be great. It's Lee Anderson, I think, and Richard Tice. There's 1.3 million people on the social housing list, and what infuriates people watching and listening to this station is when they discover foreign migrants paid no taxes, get the properties. Worse still, some of them are illegal, who've crossed the channel. We've seen rebellions breaking out all over the country. So Reform say today they are going to prioritise married working couples with children and veterans for social housing. They will be put at the front of the queue, and they're pledged to evict all foreign nationals living in social housing within 3 months. Now, that's going to be tricky. That's very.
How are they going to do that?
Well, they'll have to explain that, won't they? Because not easy, because foreign nationals, how long have they lived here? If they're foreign nationals with EU settled status, they'll say, oh, it's up my house. But look, it's the right direction of travel, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it certainly is. And I will put this to Mr. Tice when he joins us shortly. But as soon as I saw this policy this morning, the first thing I thought of was this line out of Rishi Sunak's government, which was British homes for British workers. Is this just a rehash of Tory party policy from 2024?
It's a slogan that didn't really resonate with us because nobody believed it. Let's go back to Gordon Brown. British jobs for British workers.
Another one.
That?
Yes, I do.
So let's see if they're going to put the flesh on the bone to make this work, because I think it will be a popular policy. Yet another Monday, Reform setting the agenda. No quiet August for us, is there?
No.
And it's a big issue.
Do we have any clue yet or any detail yet on how they're going to build all these social houses? I think it's something like over 180 a day.
Yeah, well, they say they're going to... I suspect it'll all be to do with relief, making property developers who sit on land for a very long time give it up. Are they going to take powers away from local authorities? Labour are talking about giving powers to mayors to overrule local councils that don't want to build houses. The fact is, often with reform statements, the devil is in the detail. So we'll wait to see the detail, because there's not a lot of detail yet. But they've got a press conference this morning, so all will be revealed. I stand behind basically the principle of it.
Yeah. It will certainly rub some people up the wrong way, though, won't it, as these policies have done recently. They have received a lot of criticism in the media for their policies not being fleshed out enough. But is something to be said in a time where we don't really hear from politicians? At least somebody's trying to put something out there for us to have a chew on, to chew on and think about.
It's a quiet August. There's not much going on, so at least they're being talked about. People know that Reform are at their best when they talk about the problem with migration. We've got a huge problem with illegal migration. We've got far too much illegal migration, and we know what happens. It puts huge pressure on our houses, huge pressure on the NHS, huge pressure on schools, and they're now talking about accommodation, saying British people first. Good. Let's hope they mean it.
Yes, fingers crossed, eh?
OK, Andrew Pearce, thank you very much. And your programme coming up at 9:30, it's going to be a packed one, isn't it? With Miriam. Lovely.
All right, well, up next, do women really need men to get by?
Well, one commune in California has gone viral after declaring that no men are allowed to join, and they're getting along just fine.
Right, well, we're going to find out about it. It's going to be very good, that one. I'm looking forward to that. But before we do that, we'll get a weather update with Greg.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello there, good morning and welcome to your latest GB News weather. High pressure still in charge of our weather today. Plenty of dry weather and pleasant spells of sunshine as well. Bit of a fresh start in places this morning, some mist and fog patches, but they'll soon clear and then a fine day to come. The cloud will bubble up as we move through the day, particularly into the afternoon across eastern areas, perhaps thick enough for 1 or 2 showers. But the vast majority, it will be dry and bright, a much sunnier day for western parts, particularly Northern Ireland, where it's quite cloudy over the weekend. Temperatures rising into the low 20s, 24, 25 Celsius possible. A little cooler in the east with that easterly breeze. As we look at the details for the evening time, fine end today across Scotland, plenty of sunny spells, temperatures still in the low 20s come 5-6 p.m. Plenty of sunshine as well for Northern Ireland, parts of Northern England. Still some cloud, but this will start to melt away as we move through the evening time. 1 or 2 light showers perhaps towards the Lincolnshire and the Wash into East Anglia. A bit of an easterly breeze, just making it feel a little cooler here. And then perhaps an increasing chance of some showers moving in across the far south as we head through the latter part of the evening into the early hours. Some of this could turn heavy as it pushes towards the south coast. A bit of uncertainty how quickly this will push northwards. More cloud around overall means temperatures not quite as low tonight compared to the weekend, generally staying in double figures, some low cloud and fog to start the day. But on Tuesday, a bright start in the north, cloudy in the south, the increasing risk of some showers pushing northwards. These perhaps turning a little heavy and thundery later on. 1 or 2 showers starting to develop parts of Northern Ireland and Scotland later. And a bit of an easterly breeze still means the east is cooler, but the west temperatures 24, 25, starting to feel more humid too.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Breaking news, live updates, stories that matter.
From the heart of the GB newsroom to every corner of Britain, with our team of dedicated journalists across the UK.
GB News bulletins are there to deliver the latest news that matters to you. Bulletins on GB News,
The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Exciting news. Every Friday, my Patrick Christie's Tonight Show is going to have a twist to it. We're welcoming some special guests. You. That's right, on Fridays I'm going to be doing my show in front of a live studio audience because this show is about you and what you have to say. It's going to be the same big debates, same big topics, same big opinions. But every Friday night at 9 p.m, you are invited to come on down to Patrick Christie's Tonight to be a part of the action. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
So he can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Britain is not just a geographical expression. We are a people bound together by history and culture that are distinctively British. Join me to celebrate our music, theatre, artworks and literature, which we can explore and enjoy together.
Everybody's welcome.
Sunday with Michael Costello. Every Sunday at 11 a.m. on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Do you trust what you're being told? Good, because neither do I.
Those are just facts.
I'm Alex Armstrong, and on my show, we'll expose the spin.
Well, I want to answer that, because you didn't let me last time, because you always speak over me.
The broken promises.
To deny that is denying the truth.
And the hypocrisy.
Needs to
stop.
You think we can allow?
Politics, policy, parliament. Nothing is off limits. No sugarcoating, no fear of offence, just the truth laid bare. Tune in every Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. for Alex Armstrong Tonight, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
I've been in Westminster for a long time, but I know that though power may be here, its effect on people's lives is across the whole of the country. We may be where rules are made, but it's where they're implemented that matters. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for forthright and frank discussion on where Britain has come from, where it's going, and where it will end up. That's State of the Nation, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Vox Populi, Vox Dei.
Well, women-only communities, communes.
Yes.
What do you make of this?
They're apparently growing in popularity. The Californians got a lot to say for it.
Yeah.
They're saying it's a great thing.
So American. These communes that ban men are popping up everywhere. Apparently, there's one in London.
Really?
Berlin, Bruges.
Well, fans say it's proof that women can live in absolute harmony without men. But do the sexes really stand a chance without the other? I think you do need each other to knock along.
Yeah, well, we need each other.
Yeah,
I need you in the mornings, Ellie. I definitely need Ellie in the mornings.
It's a good balance. It's yin and yang, right?
However, some people may disagree because we're now joined by author and journalist Nikki Hodgson and, of course, GB News superstar comedian Paul Cox and contributor. Right, well, Nikki, I better start with you on this one. Nikki, do women need men? Do men need women? Or are these communes a healthy thing?
Do women need men? For what, is the question that I would throw back. I can't really think of anything, especially not when you get to your 70s, 80s. I think it's fantastic. I mean, you don't have to clean up after anyone. You don't have to look after anyone. You don't have to nurse anyone. You don't have to sort anybody out. This is what women get to a stage of life and think. They think, actually, I don't want to have to be running around doing a million jobs because somebody else can't do them for themselves. And so that's why they make this decision to live just with other women.
Paul Cox, do women need men?
Well, I think they probably do. And thank you, first of all, I should say thank you ever so much for recognising my internationally renowned expertise on women and inviting me onto the show to talk about it. I really do appreciate it. It's nice to be recognised for once. But I think so. I mean, companionship, at least. These particular, they're not communes, these communities, they seem very supportive. And it's not women running away from men. It's kind of women, maybe they're single, or they're even within these communes, they're allowed romantic partners to come and stay, or they've lost their husband and they're looking for a community because they don't want to be alone. I don't think it's necessarily, reading the article, women saying that they don't want to be around men. Of course women need men. What would we do? I mean, what would I do if it wasn't just annoying women at home?
So he leaves the studio here just to go home and wind up his poor wife.
I'm either here talking about women or at home annoying women.
Nikki, what do you make of all of that?
Well, no, but that's exactly the point, isn't it? It's that women don't need that and men do. The thing that I would say is, look, everyone knows I've got a lovely husband. I'm not a man hater. Women want men sometimes. And actually, if we want you to be around, that's even a greater compliment, isn't it, than needing you?
Well, let me put this to you, Nikki.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, well, but let me put this to you, Nikki, because, you know, when we look at productivity and we look at the difficult jobs, you know, if every man stopped working today, lots of things would fall apart, right? So we're talking about the oil rigs, we're talking about the energy supply, we're talking about house building, we talk about electricians, that sort of stuff. So, and actually in a functioning society that, you know, of all those things, I mean, these communes, of course, will need all of those power supplies and things like that, and maybe they're all helped and built by men or maybe maintained by men. So in some way, perhaps they still do need men. Or am I being sexist?
Well, I don't think you're being sexist. I just think you're being idealistic, Alex, because actually women can do all of those jobs.
True, true.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I'm saying. We don't functionally need men for anything anymore. So if we've got you around, it's because we still like having you in the vicinity. That's what I'm trying to say.
We're not ornaments, Nikki. You can't just place us in the corner. It's interesting, isn't it? Because when it's you know, when you put a group of women together, it's a community and everyone's in harmony. If it's a group of men together, we just call it prison. There aren't communities with men. Nobody would go near them. It sounds nice, doesn't it? A woman's community, a woman's refuge. What a wonderful thing to do. If it was just men, we'd all be a bit suspicious. But I think actually, in all seriousness, that men and women need one another for more than just, you know, power plants and fixing the light bulb and all of these things. I think it's great. I mean, people need people. It doesn't have to be a heterosexual relationship, of course. You know, we're in very modern Britain. But people need people, don't they, Nikki? So if you were just alone, would you be happy with that?
But, Paul, wouldn't you say that
people need people, but
men need women more than women need men?
Men need women more than women need men. Probably. I would say. Look, I mean, I had to think about it, but I didn't really. Probably so. I mean, men were brought up by women. I was surrounded by women, so I never had any choice. I had sisters. All my cousins were female. Obviously, my mum was female. So I was just surrounded by women the whole time. Then I grew up and I had a daughter. It's ridiculous. I can't get away from women. But what I've learned is that yes, absolutely, men look up to women, and we should do.
Can I be a thorn in the side here? Can I be a thorn in the side here and say, actually, I think we need each other. I think we need each other for a healthy society. I think our genetics, testosterone and estrogen are there to balance each other out in societies to create an environment that's healthy for all of us. I think actually, even if you go back to the old Christian way of it, you don't have to. You can just go back to genetics. There's a man and a woman. I think we are both there for a reason.
Nikki?
No, I mean, I just don't agree, Alex. Evolution can get things wrong, can't it? Like I say, it's just back down to our grace, our good grace in accepting that you are here.
Paul, final word to you.
Well, Nikki, I don't like the fact that you're saying you're accepting that we are here, just tolerating men on Earth. We do have a use. I mean, I can't think of all of them now, but we do have a use, and long live men.
All right, you two.
Thanks, you two.
Nikki, Paul, absolutely fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, no, listen, I wouldn't be able to do breakfast without you, Ellie.
I couldn't do it without you
there
either.
You go.
And
so we need each other.
At home, I'd need my husband to do the bins and...
That's a choice. That's a choice. That's a lifestyle choice.
The hot water just went, so I need him to fix the boiler. Look, where would I be?
That's it. I think
Without
we all need each
the
other.
boiler.
I think we all need each other. Paul Cox, good to see you on breakfast, mate. Lovely to have you in so early in the morning. All right, listen, we should probably get to a traffic and travel update for all of you who are heading off to work.
It's me. So, Spurs, OK, they weigh very heavy on me at the moment, but talking about weighing heavy, I'm going to try and make a link out of this. We're going to be going to London Zoo to weigh animals, and we'll do that in just a second, but as Alex said, we do have the traffic and travel for you too.
Good morning, this is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. The M25 clockwise is affected by a collision between junctions 5 and 6 near Sevenoaks. The M4 westbound is affected by a collision between junctions 5 and 6 in Langley. The A34 is closed after the A303 at Bullington Cross. In Scotland, the M8 eastbound has 2 lanes restricted between junctions 6A and 6 near Chapel Hall and Newhouse. Across Wales, the M4 eastbound at J33 Capel Llanilturn is congested. And on the trains, Greater Anglia services are facing major disruption between Shenfield and Southend Victoria, with disruption between Tottenham Hale and London Liverpool Street. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There, you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Bold. They are under no illusion.
Ray.
Are you a human trafficker?
Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get this on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline. Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What I'm going to do now is they are throwing things out the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Join me, Nana Akwe, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, Dave.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Welcome to Free Speech Nation with me, Josh Howard. This is the show where each week we see what's happening in the world of culture, current affairs and politics.
First we'll say, welcome to the UK. Oh, thank you.
And we're not afraid to use our free speech so that you can use yours.
It's not controversial in the slightest to anyone who hasn't lost their mind.
Free Speech Nation, Sunday nights at 7 p.m, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
As soon as it hits 11 and the headlines come in,
The Late Edition brings you the breaking news from all the front pages.
because the news is going to happen.
So get a head start today.
Patrick Christie's Tonight, Late Edition.
Alex Armstrong Tonight, Late Edition. From 11 o'clock every night.
Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation, isn't it?
No,
Because the failure is
you're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back,
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
and we do not shy away from the difficult stuff.
Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood.
So join me on Jubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m. only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Welcome back to breakfast. It's 8:37. It's our favourite day of the year. It's London Zoo's annual weigh-in day.
Wow.
Oh, look at the penguins.
Look at them, yes. The event plays an important role in the zoo's conservation efforts, helping them to ensure the animals are in tip-top form, no diets.
Oh, just so beautiful, aren't they?
Oh, that's why? That's why they weigh them?
Yeah.
I thought they had boxing matches afterwards. It's like...
Do they? No.
The weigh-ins. Yeah, very good.
Do they weigh the flies? Do they have little tiny things?
It's a great question to put to Sophia Wenzel,
Ah.
who's joining us live now from London Zoo. Morning, Sophia. Are all of the animals involved?
Ellie, Alex, thank you. Good morning. Yep, I'm here. I'm here at London Zoo in Regent's Park, where keepers are taking part in some of the strangest jobs of their calendar. They're weighing all the animals in the park, from the tallest giraffes down to the tiniest snails. It's called the annual weigh-in, and it usually takes keepers around several days to get through about 400 species here. The measurements are then added to a database which is shared with about 500 zoos and conservation organisations across the world. So it goes much further than just Regent's Park. The information gathered here today in London can be used to gain an understanding of the wider organisations across the world and how endangered species are doing. But of course, for some of the residents here in the park, it's not so easy getting on the scales, as I'm sure you can imagine. So I'm here with the head zookeeper, Daniel Simmons, and he can tell us a little bit more about that today. Thank you for speaking with us today, Daniel. Could you tell us a little bit about the capybaras, who we're just by their enclosure here today? How do you weigh them? Is it difficult? Are there any special tactics that you use?
It's actually quite easy to weigh a capybara, the world's largest rodent. We can see them being weighed, Kiwi and Gizmo right behind us on their weigh scales, which is ultimately just a board with some weigh bars underneath and a keeper enticing them over with some of their favourite treats. Combined weight, I've been told by the keepers today, for the pair of them, it's going to be about 100 kilos, so that's a lot of rodent today. But we've got so many other animals. We've got up to 10,000 animals that we need to weigh. It's going to be really, really busy day. And the reality is we're not actually going to be able to weigh them all today. And also the reality is we know the weights. Why do we know the weights? Because we weigh them actually, in most cases, almost every single day. It's a really important part of managing their well-being, managing their healthcare. And then, like you said, all of that data feeds into a central database called ZIMS, or the Zoological Information Management System, which is shared with other conservation zoos. And for us also particularly important, because this year, our bicentenary year, we've had some really exciting news, and that's the launch of a new £20 million wildlife health centre, so ultimately a new veterinary hospital. We've got and always have had some of the best vets in the whole world, but we haven't been able up until now to be able to complement that with the same level of infrastructure, and ultimately they've been in quite an old building for too long, but that's going to change. So things like data that we gather today, whilst we've always collected and it's always been managed really well by our vets, we're now going to be world class in the way we're able to use the data, manage the health care of animals like Kiwi and Gizmo, the capybara right behind us.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for speaking to us today, Daniel. So, as you can see, it may just seem like a cute and cuddly photo opportunity, but it is so much more than that. There is a serious side to it. For the London zookeepers, knowing the numbers means knowing their animals.
Absolutely. Sophia Wenzel, thank you so much.
I've got to do a weigh-in at some point. I'm on the gym diet at the moment.
Oh, you don't need to be on a gym diet. It's ridiculous, this man.
It's a high-protein
It's
diet.
nothing, love you.
He's in the gym.
It's not a fat-shaving diet. It's a protein diet. So I've got to actually weigh myself in to be heavier.
Oh, you want to be heavier?
Yes.
What do they call it? You're bulking.
Yeah, not like that. I'm not getting massive, but you know, I want to just.
But he's in the gym.
Capybara. Is it capybara?
Capybara, like that capybara.
He was bulking, wasn't he?
Well, he was talking to us.
He was. It was like. It was,
Observation made by
you
you.
won't remember this, but Johnny Morris, who used to do Animal Magic back in the day, would have the animals, and he would do the voices of the animals.
Love that.
It's like, oh, that's what I was thinking there with the capybara.
Love that. Yeah. It would have been a more interesting interview than some of the politicians we have to talk to, actually. There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Well,
good luck tomorrow when you speak to the next one.
It's a new sport,
Yeah.
What have you got for us, Coity?
OK, Brighton beat Aston Villa 4-0. Absolutely.
At least someone had a win.
Hammered them. Yeah, but Aston Villa were terrible. I mean, if you're an Aston Villa fan, you'd be really, especially after winning the European trophy at the last season and everything. Newcastle drew with Liverpool. There was big tribute for Kevin Keegan. I mean, if ever there was going to be a game, the first game after Kevin Keegan passed away, the two clubs that he was closest to, Newcastle and Liverpool, ended up 2-2 with a very late penalty. Manchester City beat Bournemouth. They were 1-0 down to Bournemouth and then came back 1-2-1. Erling Haaland with the haircut. Should we have a look with the haircut?
Yes.
We might as well make the most of it.
I'm a fan.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm a fan too.
Yeah.
Are you?
Do you not like him? Are you not a big fan?
No, I don't like a buzz cut the best of times.
Oh, you're talking about the haircut. We're talking about the man.
Oh, I like Erling Haaland, yeah, love him.
You're not sure about the haircut?
I hate the haircut.
This is with the long hair. Now, can we see the short hair there? We've got this. No, that's the long hair. There's the pony. Any man with a ponytail.
I didn't like a ponytail.
Should be banned. And there we are now.
It's quite dramatic, isn't it?
It is quite dramatic.
It's different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. If you went to school where I went to school and turned up with a haircut like that afterwards, honestly.
Big trouble.
So I don't know whether he got that from the players. But, you know, but like you said, Ellie, it's kind of like Samson, mate.
It's like Samson, I'm concerned.
Is he going to lose his power?
Is the power in the hair? He's just had it all cut off.
Chelsea and Fulham is tonight in the Premier League. We haven't mentioned Spurs, which is good. But
I think it's best we don't.
I'd like you to see this Chinese robot. Now, before we do, Tiangong is the name of this robot, humanoid, I think they call them, because it's freaky. He broke his own 400-metre world record at the World Humanoid Robot Games in Beijing. The human world record is Wade van Niekerk of South Africa. Did the humanoid go faster than the human? Let's have a look at the race. Anyway, this is 400. So what do you think? Have a look at him and then tell me whether you think it would be faster than the world record, which is 43.03.
It would be faster because it's a robot.
OK. Yeah, but look, they still have to run on legs. See, look, there he is in front. Isn't it crazy?
So you're saying nuts and bolts?
See what you're saying.
Did you like that?
Funny.
Did you like that one?
I
Yeah,
like
it took
it
a
very
while
much.
for that to settle in.
Very good. You've been working on that one for how long?
Just a few minutes.
Very good.
We're
Very
settling
good.
in.
You were watching Usain Bolt thinking, if only there was a humanoid, I could make that joke in the future sometime on TV.
There you go, look at that.
Right, 38.15. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's incredible.
They make a funny noise as well, don't they? They like clatter past.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
There's a big audience for this nonsense as well.
Yeah, there is. I don't know.
Is it some sort of... You can imagine this is what we've been warned about in multiple movies, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can imagine this thing running at you as they try to
You'd have no chance.
your HMRC Mansion Tax Police coming in every form of that robot. You ain't escaping that one, are you?
So we're going live now. So they actually, this is actually like an Olympic Games for non-humans. It's just all, it's
very weird.
It scares the life out of me, I've got to tell you.
Especially as they become more and more lifelike as well. They make them look more and more like humans into the future, don't they?
By the way, the answer was, you were right, it was the humanoid, but not by that 38.15 for the 400 metres, whereas Wade van Niekerk, 43.03. So there you go.
There we go.
There you go.
Coity, thank you.
I'm going to go and weigh my dog now.
Very wise. Which one? You've got two now.
Maybe I'll weigh both and I'll
do the annual weigh-in,
because it's not just about fun, it's about conservation.
No.
There you go.
I weighed Monty the other day. He weighs 4 kg.
Oh, does he?
And when he first came to us, he was 2 kg.
Right. OK. And how much will he be in a couple of months?
Well, they can be up to 10 kg. I'm glad you asked.
Okay.
But I'm hoping he stays petite.
I think so. No more treats.
No more treats.
All right. Still to come. Train spotting style.
You're like Johnny Morris.
Just go to the break, shall we?
I think it's probably wise. We've got the papers coming up next.
Dinner under the stars tonight?
That reminds me of our travel insurance.
You mean all clear skies?
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Hello there. It remains quite unsettled across northern and western parts of Europe. Some heavy rain across parts of Portugal and Spain in particular. Plenty of sunny spells across the Canaries on Tuesday. Temperatures around 30 Celsius. The risk of showers still for Portugal, parts of France, but Spain largely dry with sunshine. A few showers also stretching across into northern Italy. Hot in Rome, temperatures in the mid-30s. Plenty of sunshine and high temperatures across Greece as well, staying that way over the next few days.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Good afternoon, Britain. Weekdays from midday.
Becky, Chad and the beekeepers, Richard, Mohammed and James. Well, thank you all for coming. So tell us what happened.
So I got a phone call about 7:30 on Sunday evening from one of the rangers to tell us that there was a forest fire that was spreading quite rapidly and the bees were in danger, and if we could get down as soon as we could to get them out.
Oh, I suppose this is a real challenge, because bees, whilst they do flit around all over the place, they're pretty stuck to their colonies.
Yes, absolutely. The boys were the ones that were there.
When we approached it, the fire was quite close to the colonies, so we had to make a decision very quickly on whether or not to remove them from the apiary or keep them there and try and just water down the area. And after we saw flames on the horizon, we decided that, no, we've just got to make the decision to move the bees to a safer place, which we did.
GB News, the People's Channel. GB News Breakfast, every day from 6 a.m.
I do think it's worrying that young people, I mean, are they I think they are more risk averse. Yes. I think they are scared of getting into personal space. I think you're right, there are issues about consent and everything else. But how sad that people say that it's been a year since they've been kissed. What is life for if you're not having a little kiss every now and again?
Yeah, the death of the kiss.
Apparently, much younger people now haven't had a good snog in over 12 months on average, the people that have been interviewed. But I would hazard a guess that that's because people are frightened. Men don't know when they can approach women anymore. Men can think 1 or 2 steps ahead on the same board, whereas a woman will think about 18 steps. So
I think you're overthinking it.
If a man takes you to Paris for the weekend, a woman will come back disappointed that they haven't proposed to them, whereas a man thinks they've done a really great thing.
Why do men always think you're going to be proposed to in Paris? That you expect that. We don't expect
men are not
that. Just take us to Paris.
The People's Channel.
Here for like 12 hours. We're flying home at 11 o'clock tonight.
Oh, and mummy and daughter.
Yeah, and it only costs £70, so we thought, well, why not? Because it's cheaper than a supermarket shop.
Supermarket shop or spending the day in Benidorm with cheap booze.
It's a no-brainer. Isn't it? It's a no-brainer.
And is there no chance you might just decide we're going to stay?
No, because my husband would kill me.
We did consider it because I said to my mum earlier on, we might just stay and miss the flight, but she's not up for it.
Has your husband actually visited Benidorm the Zone?
No, he hasn't. I've been here 27 times. That's my daughter's first time. She's a Benidorm virgin. But
well,
my husband's never been.
Not that he's told you anyway, let's put it like that.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Welcome back. Let's have a look at some of the front pages, shall we, on this Monday morning?
Yes. In the Telegraph, graduates are facing the worst job market on record. Vacancies fell 45% this summer, despite more teens than ever heading to uni.
Leading The Guardian, Andy Burnham's first foreign trip as Prime Minister, set to arrive in Ukraine today. We've seen the pictures live on the programme, haven't we? After news that Britain has agreed to share how it makes Shadow Storm missiles with Ukraine. And The Times also reports that Downing Street is set to gift Ukraine blueprints for missiles. And lastly, The Sun writes, we're all grin it together. This is in reference to the royal family's united front over Harry and Meghan's return. Beautiful picture there. Always. The Princess of Wales, she looks stunning. Always does indeed. And joining us this morning, Dawn Neeson and James Rampton. Good morning. Morning.
You two. Hello. Where would you like to start, Ellie? Well, this one's caught my eye, James. And this is page 2 of the Mail today. 100,000 oil and gas jobs to disappear.
I know. I mean, over the next 25 years, this is a cataclysmic loss of jobs in the North Sea. It'd be an 80% loss of jobs between 2024, when the Labour Party won the election, and 2050. It does perhaps hinge on this hugely anticipated decision next month on whether Labour will decide to drill the two fields, Rosebank and Jackdaw. That might make a difference to those figures, but it's another industry, and we've been talking about this a lot today, that is in dire threat because of the change of technology, the change in working practices, the taxation on employers. All these things are contributing to a very dismal job market. And if you're in that business, you must think, help, what does the future hold?
Yeah, I guess, Dawn, this is the thing. I was up in Aberdeen for Celebrate Britain.
Yes, I know.
And speaking to a lot of the locals there, of course, they were dismayed that BP have also now decided to pull out, which they said brought, loads of jobs loads of money to the area. They put on loads of events for local people, and they say the city's going downhill rapidly.
Yeah, and you have to feel for the people that live there. And of course, it's such an important industry for the whole of the UK. And it's interesting that for once the unions are having a go at Labour for the way they are treating the oil and gas industry in this country. But can we stay on Scotland and talk about accents?
We can, but there is one story I think the audience would really love to talk about, which is this new migrant scheme. So 204... Well, it's not a new migrant, it's an old one, actually.
It's an old one.
240,000 migrants let in under a closed scheme. How on earth is that still going on, Dawn?
Well, because we don't know what we're doing, to be honest with you. It's a simple answer to that question. Yeah, it's tens of thousands of migrants used a post-Brexit visa scheme to settle it, despite it actually closing 5 years ago. It's the EU settlement scheme, and it was set up to offer EU citizens a chance to live here after Britain left the EU in December 2020, which was quite a while ago now. But the thing is, the Home Office are accepting late applications. I mean, late, it's stretching it a bit there, isn't it?
5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
The dog ate my application, isn't it?
So they're still letting migrants in under this closed scheme. As I said, we don't know what we're doing, do we?
No.
Dawn, let's look at... Well, is this something brighter? I don't know. But the 13th sighting of the Loch Ness Monster so far this year, we could be heading for a record.
Right, OK, from sublime to ridiculous. Yes, as you've pointed out, official sightings of Nessie this year now are up to number 13. This is after John and Jamie Wallace snapped a shadow in the water in July. We need some dramatic music there, don't we? And it has been
the Jaws music.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they were visiting the Highlands from Renfrewshire, and they saw this shadow. There've been 11 in-person sightings and 2 on webcams so far this year.
But who knew that there was an official sightings register? I love that.
I did.
We are so obsessed with these myths that we have to have an official sightings register. Don't you love being British?
Indeed.
We do.
Well, look, stay with us, because still to come, Richard Tice is joining us to talk about his policies.
That's after the weather.
Today's outlook: cool, calm and completely horizontal. Boxed Aircon sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello there, good morning and welcome to your latest GB News weather. High pressure still in charge of our weather today. Plenty of dry weather and pleasant spells of sunshine as well. Bit of a fresh start in places this morning, some mist and fog patches, but they'll soon clear, and then a fine day to come. The cloud will bubble up as we move through the day, particularly into the afternoon across eastern areas, perhaps thick enough for 1 or 2 showers, but the vast majority it will be dry and bright. A much sunnier day for western parts, particularly Northern Ireland, where it's quite cloudy over the weekend. Temperatures rising into the low 20s, 24, 25 Celsius possible. A little cooler in the east with that easterly breeze. As we look at the details for the evening time, fine end today across Scotland, plenty of sunny spells, temperatures still in the low 20s come 5-6 p.m. Plenty of sunshine as well for Northern Ireland, parts of Northern England. Still some cloud, but this will start to melt away as we move through the evening time. 1 or 2 light showers perhaps towards the Lincolnshire and the Wash into East Anglia. A bit of an easterly breeze, just making it feel a little cooler here. And then perhaps perhaps an increasing chance of some showers moving in across the far south as we head through the latter part of the evening. Into the early hours, some of this could turn heavy as it pushes towards the south coast. A bit of uncertainty how quickly this will push northwards. More cloud around overall means temperatures not quite as low tonight compared to the weekend, generally staying in double figures, some low cloud and fog to start the day. But on Tuesday, a bright start in the north, cloudy in the south, the increasing risk of some showers pushing northwards. These perhaps turning a little heavy and thundery later on. 1 or 2 showers starting to develop parts of Northern Ireland and Scotland later. And a bit of an easterly breeze still means the east is cooler, but the west temperatures 24, 25, starting to feel more humid too.
Today's outlook: cool, calm and completely horizontal. Boxed Aircon sponsors the weather on GB News.
Thank you, Britain, for the thousands of you who are becoming friends of GB News each and every week.
Good morning, this is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. The M6 northbound is affected by a collision between junctions 2 and 3 near Birmingham East, with lanes closed. The M27 westbound has an obstruction at junction 8 in Bursledon. The M11 southbound has an incident at junction 14 in Girton. The M62 westbound is closed between junctions 23 and 22 in Saddleworth. In Scotland, the M9 eastbound is slow with queuing and lane restrictions between junction 1A in Kirkliston and junction 1 in Newbridge. Across Wales, the M4 eastbound at J33 Capel Lanilton is congested, and on the trains, Greater Anglia and Chiltern Railways are facing major disruption on key routes. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
It's brand new and it's the big one. Courtesy of Marquis Leisure, you could win this brand new 4-berth motorhome. But that's just the beginning, as we'll also give you a whopping £35,000 in tax-free cash to spend, save, or just to use to enjoy adventures in your new motorhome.
For a chance to win, text prize to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB23 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 23rd of October. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
So he can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Bold. They are under no illusion.
Ray.
Are you a human trafficker?
Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get this on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline. Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What I'm going to do now is they are throwing things out the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Good morning. The 2 police officers who died when a car travelling the wrong way down a dual carriageway crashed into their vehicle are hailed as heroes by their families.
Well, now almost £300,000 raised. This has gone up significantly. At least, what is it, £60,000 since this morning. That's been raised for their loved ones, as the 5 men in the Volkswagen that crashed into their car are also identified.
Well, a flurry of reports now have linked the crash to the dangerous TikTok joyriding trend. After 2 eerily similar crashes in just 1 week, is it time to change the law to stop another tragedy unfolding?
And we spoke to Defence Minister Luke Pollard, who had this to say about the dangerous trend.
The government has already spoken to the social media companies, telling them to take down that horrendous content that you rightly say is celebrating dangerous driving on our roads.
Meanwhile, Conservative MP Tom Tugendhat said this.
Let's be clear, this isn't some sort of random accident where people made an honest mistake. This is people who deliberately chose to recklessly endanger lives.
To put it simply, Vladimir, I want you to know that we've got your back. You can count on me and you can count on us. You can count on the UK.
Prime Minister Andy Burnham has arrived in Kyiv this morning, marking his first foreign trip since moving into number 10. But he's already garnering criticism after rocking up wearing what you can see on your screens right now, which is a polo shirt, without a suit, of course.
Elsewhere, it's been revealed that graduates are facing the worst jobs market on record. So why are more teenagers than ever heading to university if it's not leading to a job?
So, working with local areas, Number 10 North will oversee the biggest council house building programme since the post-war period.
And Reform UK is giving Burnham's council housing shake-up a run for its money, supposedly, with their plans to prioritise homes for British-born families and veterans. We'll be putting that to Deputy Leader of Reform UK, Richard Tice, very shortly.
The Princess of Wales has been captured looking relaxed. That's despite the drama that's enveloping the royal family after news of the Brexit reversal.
And it's weighing day at London Zoo, and we're live in the capybara habitat this hour. Sophia Wenzel's there.
We are here at London Zoo today behind the scenes as keepers take on one of the trickiest jobs of the year, weighing all the animals from the tallest giraffes down to the tiniest snails. We'll have all the furry details, you won't want to miss it.
High pressure, keeping it dry and settled today, but changes are on the way later on in the week with some heavy rain on the way. Find out all the weather details for today coming up soon.
Good morning, it's just gone 9 o'clock. I'm Ellie Costello.
And I'm Alex Armstrong, and this is GB News Breakfast. Well, the Prime Minister's under a bit of fire this morning, isn't he?
He is. Have we got these pictures of Andy Burnham arriving in Kyiv this morning? His first international trip, we should add, to Ukraine. And this is the outfit that he chooses in order to make that first impression on the world stage.
Couldn't believe this, Ellie. I couldn't believe it when I saw him get off the train because...
A polo shirt.
This is such an important trip because it's a massive defence trip, of course. It's about one of our biggest allies that we're supporting militarily with a lot of British taxpayer funds. And he's turned up wearing a polo. Look at all the people around him dressed in either local native cultural dress or a suit and tie, or at least a shirt. What's Bob here said?
Well, it's upset a lot of you on gbnews.com/you'll saying we need to have better standards than this from our politicians. Bob the Builder's been in touch saying at least Mr Bean manages to wear a shirt and a tie. How embarrassing that Andy Burnham is dressed like this on the world stage.
I just feel like he's forgotten that he is not the mayor of Manchester. He is now representing all of us at home, the money that we spend, our taxes, when our defence. He's going to be talking to other leaders around the world, including a man whose country's at war. You just think, in certain occasions, you can get away with a polo shirt, OK? This one is not one of them.
But then we spoke to a Ukrainian politician, Kira Radek. We asked her about the T-shirt. We asked her if it offends her, and she says absolutely not. The fact that he's there, the fact that he's showing support is all that matters to her and fellow Ukrainians. So.
And I have had views from GB News viewers who disagree vehemently with my perspective on this as well. So there we go. Maybe some people like the polo shirt.
Keep them coming in. gbnews.com/you'll say. Now, tributes continuing to pour in this morning for those two brave police officers who were killed in the early hours of Saturday morning. It's after they were involved in a horrific wrong-way collision with 5 teenagers.
Indeed. PC Matthew Blades, who was 37 years old, and PC Tom Clough, 38 years old, both died when a Volkswagen Passat travelling the wrong way along the A66 near Middlesbrough collided with their police vehicle.
Well, the crash also claimed the lives of 5 young men aged between 16 and 23.
Well, according to reports, a video has now emerged of one of the teenagers' TikTok accounts that appears to show him involved in another car chase with the police months before the incident.
It looks as though those young men may have had form. Well, we're joined now by Richard Tice, Deputy Leader of Reform UK. Very good to see you this morning, Mr Tice. And let's start, shall we? And I'm sure you'll join us this morning in paying tribute to these brave police officers who died in the line of duty in the early hours of Saturday morning. You will have seen that eerily similar crash last week in County Kildare in Ireland. 5 young men died in that joyriding TikTok incident as well. The Irish are now talking about bringing in, a new legislation, essentially, that anyone deliberately driving down the wrong side of a road in these horrific TikTok trends that we're seeing at the moment can be charged with attempted murder. They're saying it is akin to attempted murder, driving the wrong way down a road. Is that what we need to do in this country in order to keep our brave police officers safe and the general wider British public safe?
Well, look, this is an absolute tragedy, and our deepest condolences, of course, go to the families and friends of those 2 brave police officers doing their duty, keeping their local communities safe, the best of public service. And of course, we must look at what's the cause of it, what's the motivation behind some of this apparent joyriding. Let's wait and see what the investigation shows. But if things need more legislation, then obviously that's the right thing to do. But at this current time, we're just in sad mourning of the loss of those 2 officers.
Yes, indeed. I think that our country shares in that grief, Mr Tice, as well. Look, let's move on to what you're wanting to talk about today, which is affordable social housing for working Britain. Now, you're saying you're going to overhaul the way social housing is allocated, giving priority to British-born workers under the age of 35 and veterans. But you'll have to forgive me because it sounded a bit familiar to me. 2024, Rishi Sunak came out with the election pledge, at least the consultation started in January 2024, of British homes for British workers, prioritising British citizens in social housing. Is this copy and paste of Tory party policy?
No, the difference is that we would actually do it, and the British people are sick and tired of Tory waffle, Tory talk and no action, and that's the reason they got thrown out after 14 years of failure. The affordable housing system in this country is broken, and only reform will fix it by prioritising young British workers, young British married couples, young British veterans who've served their country. They should go to the top of the queue on what we call a suitability test as opposed to a needs test. And this actually, our policy is in line with, of course, what Nye Bevan, one of the great Labour heroes, what he wanted with the new council house building programme post-war. It's the right thing to do. The role of the British government is to look after the British people. And we're also announcing today how we will build an extra 50,000 affordable homes every year over the next decade. At 11 o'clock at our press conference, I'll confirm how we'll pay for it. I think that will be of real attraction to many people, young people and parents and grandparents as well, without recourse to the hard-pressed taxpayer. Look, I'm a builder. I know how to get stuff done. I've built more homes than the previous 24, 25 housing ministers combined. Mind you, you could say that's not that difficult given the incompetence who've been there before. You know, that's who we are, and that's why we're leading back in the polls, because we've got the right policies for young British people and recognising that work's a great thing, and people who work and do the right thing, they should be at the top of the queue as opposed to being having to stay with parents into their 30s. It's just not fair. It's not the British way.
Mr Tyers, part of this pledge is to evict foreign nationals living in council housing within 3 months. How are you going to do that? You can imagine the legal challenges already, can't you?
Well, we're actually saying it would be at least 3 months. There'd be a grace period. And yes, we have to change some legislation around the Human Rights Act and the Equality Act, which we've already talked about. I just come back to the point about fairness. You don't expect to rock up to someone else's country, not work, and expect, by way of a right or entitlement, for their local taxpayers to pay for you to live in subsidised housing. The right thing to do is to work and pay your own way, and that's simply what we are saying. And look, resources are tight. Manage them properly, but prioritise British people, British workers doing the right thing first. And that sets a good example. And to all those lefties who are whinging and whining about this policy this morning, I say this: the role of the British government is to prioritise and look after British citizens. We can't house the world, we can't feed the world. Let's actually focus on our own population, our own people, before we start giving money away to others. And, you know, the statistics are shocking, that only 27% of people in social housing are in work, and only 36% of lettings last year were to people in work. We were told people were coming from overseas in order to work. Well, either they're not working or they've come with a large family, and it's just a matter of fairness, and the current system is unfair. We want to bring back a degree of fairness and motivation and encouragement to our young people.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. That's Richard Tice, their Deputy Leader of Reform UK. We will, of course, be hearing more about that policy on Britain's newsroom at 9:30 onwards.
Yes, don't miss it. Thank you very much. I'm just looking over your shoulder here at Jocelyn, who's been in touch on gbnews.com/you'll say. We're talking about changing legislation, which the Irish are considering at the moment, attempted murder if you deliberately drive down the wrong side of a dual carriageway. She said it very sensible. We should follow. Deliberately driving the wrong side of the road is attempted murder. Thinking of these officers' families this morning.
Yes, indeed, we all are. And look, in the meantime, there's a bit of a change of tune here. 12 minutes past 9. Great British giveaway now. It's a brand new 4-berth motorhome worth 75 grand plus 35 grand in tax-free cash.
Yeah, it's a good one, isn't it? Here are all the details that you need.
It's the biggest, greatest Great British giveaway of the year so far. It's your chance to win a whopping £110,000 prize package that comes in 2 terrific parts. You'll be able to explore Great Britain and beyond in this, your very own motorhome. Courtesy of Marquis Leisure, this brand new McClure Fusion could be yours. It comfortably sleeps 4 with spacious lounge area for entertaining and fully fitted kitchen and bathroom. Plus, you can drive it on your standard driving licence. We'll also boost your bank account too with a further £35,000 in tax-free cash to spend however you like. Make sure you don't miss out on this £110,000 prize package.
For a chance to win a motorhome and cash, text prize to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus 1 standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB23 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 23rd of October. We may call the winner live after all entry routes have closed. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Yes, good luck. Now, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's move back to the UK doesn't seem to be going entirely to plan.
Or does it? This is it.
There's mixed reporting out there, isn't
Mixed
there?
reporting. What do we really know? Well, according to The Telegraph, Prince Harry is reportedly pleading with the Home Secretary over his family's security, and Meghan Markle's role in the Guy Ritchie series, Netflix series, The Gentleman, could have been nothing more than a PR stunt. That's what the press are talking about today.
Well, we're joined now by Royal Entertainment reporter Bronte Coy. Very good morning to you, Bronte. So Meghan's return to acting, should we begin there? Is it on or is it off?
Well, this is the big question. I broke the news that she was making a return to acting just on Friday. It feels like a year ago. Because over the weekend there's been quite a flurry of speculation because, of course, former Vanity Fair editor Tina Brown put out a tweet saying that this alleged deal that was on the table with The Gentleman, and Guy Ritchie is the one that creates that show, that was over, and basically it was because of backlash in the UK. Now, that was curious to me to begin with, because you would think that Netflix, if they were going to hire Meghan for a project, would expect a level of backlash that was going to be baked in just because of who she is. But what I've heard since, in the days since, I would have expected that there would be a flurry of confirmation from a number of sources. There are a lot of people involved in these talks on all sides. But what I'm hearing as of last night and into this morning is it's still ongoing. These conversations are still ongoing. In fact, there has been no change, as my entertainment sources have said, no change to the current talks that are underway. So it's on until it's not on, I suppose. And in entertainment, things can fall over at any moment. But that's the information as we've currently got it. So it's been a very confusing weekend in the Sussex realm. But that's how we've got it at the moment.
Yeah, and of course, all of this ongoing while, the biggest battle that the Prince has had here with the government is about his security, right? This has been a big hang-up for him for such a long time. In fact, Meghan refused to bring the children back to Britain because of that exact reason. We still don't believe that's been resolved either, yet they are still coming home.
This is such a complex beast. So, as you say, last year, Harry said he didn't feel safe bringing the family back to the UK as things currently stood. That's with the bespoke arrangement that he's been under since he left royal duties. At the end of last year, though, curiously, there was that it was flagged that there was going to be this risk assessment, that's what he's been calling for years, just to have it all looked at again for the first time since 2019. So that hadn't happened as of their visit last month, which there was also some security dramas around that. So that hadn't happened. What we now know, as you've just mentioned, is at the end of last month, that has now been undertaken, this review. However, and stay with me, the review occurred before RAVEC, the body in charge of this, knew that they were moving back as residents. So again, this may change the situation. But as we understand it, Harry has been in touch with Shabana Mahmood to find out, what the latest is, because obviously he's got concerns bringing his family over here and, of course, wants to know what the lay of the land will be. But as I say, it's been very complicated. There are many moving parts and we don't know where that has landed at this point.
Well, you're making sense of all of it for us today, Bronte. Thank you so much. Really good to see you. Thank you.
All right, well, a Home Office spokesperson said this: the UK government's protective security system is rigorous and proportionate. It's our long-standing policy not to provide detailed information on those arrangements.
And representatives for the Duchess of Sussex have been contacted for comment, and Netflix so far declined to comment on the matter.
Right, still to come, GB News' Sophia Wensler is at London Zoo for us. Sophia.
Hi, I'm here at London Zoo this morning, and as you can see behind me, there are some squirrel monkeys. They're very cute, and keepers here are getting on with one of the strangest jobs of the year, weighing all the animals in the zoo. So we will have more for you coming up.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Bold.
They are under no illusion.
Brave.
Are you a human trafficker?
Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get us on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline. Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What I'm going to do now, they are throwing things out the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation, isn't it?
Because
the failure is...
You're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Dubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Welcome to Free Speech Nation with me, Josh Howard. This is the show where each week we see what's happening in the world of culture, current affairs and politics.
First we'll say, welcome to the UK. Oh, thank you.
And we're not afraid to use our free speech so that you can use yours.
It's not controversial in the slightest to anyone who hasn't lost their mind.
Free Speech Nation, Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Some people enjoy lazy Sunday mornings, but not me.
What's the truth of the matter? So that's a very live question. Would you support him if he waters down these plans?
Before the spin sets in, I'll be getting to the truth.
This is personal.
No soft questions, no easy answers.
It's one thing if the state has rules in this country. It's another thing whether the police and others actually police them.
Setting the agenda and holding those in power to account.
You can't really blame her if the system is set up this way. You will not want to miss it, trust me.
The Camilla Tominey Show, Sundays from 9:30, only on GB News.
Penguins, lion cubs and camels are just some of the animals getting weighed today at London Zoo.
Yeah, it's the annual weigh-in, the best day of the year. Sophia Wenzel is there for us. Morning, Sophia.
Good morning to you. Yep, I'm here at London Zoo today, and if you've been overindulging a little bit this summer and are worried about getting on the bathroom scales, spare a thought for the squirrel monkeys behind me here, who are having their annual weigh-in today. Now, it's a little bit different for every animal. There are different tactics employed to try and get them onto the scales. Keepers can hide the scales in their natural habitat, in doorways, use treats to coax them onto the weigh boards, and sometimes use months of training just to get one accurate figure. And it's used to detect early pregnancy, sometimes illnesses, and also to get an idea of the food measurements that they need and for their medication. So with me today is the head zookeeper, Daniel Simmons, and he can tell us a little bit more about that. Now, we are with the squirrel monkeys today, but there are other animals that get weighed here. Which is the most difficult to weigh and why?
Well, so probably actually some of the harder ones are the cheeky monkeys that are getting some monkey nuts behind us at the moment on their squirrel monkey size scales, all diligently queuing up. But when it comes to things like penguins, we've got over 70 Humboldt penguins. It's quite a challenge. A lot of fish, a lot of queuing up, and a lot of really skilled keepers that are able to identify them and get them onto their scales. Also some really easy ones like the camels. There are 2 camels and they go onto their scales, and equally for the giraffe at the higher end of the scale, it's straightforward. But some of them will always be a little bit trickier, and definitely the monkeys rank up there with some of the harder ones.
Thank you very much. And in previous years, has anything ever gone wrong or surprised you?
So we never actually get surprises because the reality is we don't just weigh them today. Today's a great fun day and people can come to the zoo and also watch us weighing our animals, and it symbolises the formality of how we record all of the data, which we do regardless. But because we weigh the animals so frequently as part of the really important primary health care and managing their long-term health, we never really get any surprises. We know today what they're probably going to weigh. Sometimes you get a little surprise with, in particular, some female animals where the weight is consistently going up and up, and often that does indicate pregnancy. But because we have such an advanced level of healthcare here, we're able to in fact do ultrasound whilst animals in some cases are having their breakfast, and the vets will come and do an ultrasound, and we can then confirm the fetal development, for example, of an animal, and complement that with the weight gain that we expect to happen through her pregnancy.
Wow, okay, thank you so much, and thank you for speaking with us again today. So I think we'll be with the penguins next, so you don't want to miss it. Stay on GB News to catch all the latest.
Oh, penguins are my favourite, Sphere. Thank you so much.
I'll wear myself at the gym later on anyway. What's coming up in Britain's newsroom, you two?
Well, it's the big reform press conference, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which will be a biggie, making sure social housing goes to British people. Good.
Absolutely. And is there enough of it altogether? Well, all that's coming up after your weather.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello there, good morning and welcome to your latest GB News weather. High pressure still in charge of our weather today. Plenty of dry weather and pleasant spells of sunshine as well. Bit of a fresh start in places this morning, some mist and fog patches, but they'll soon clear and then a fine day to come. The cloud will bubble up as we move through the day, particularly into the afternoon across eastern areas, perhaps thick enough for 1 or 2 showers, but the vast majority it will be dry and bright. A much sunnier day for western parts, particularly Northern Ireland, where it's quite cloudy over the weekend. Temperatures rising into the low 20s, 24, 25 Celsius possible. A little cooler in the east with that easterly breeze. As we look at the details for the evening time, fine end today across Scotland, plenty of sunny spells, temperatures still in the low 20s come 5-6 p.m. Plenty of sunshine as well for Northern Ireland, parts of northern England. Still some cloud, but this will start to melt away as we move through the evening time. 1 or 2 light showers perhaps towards Lincolnshire and the Wash into East Anglia. A bit of an easterly breeze, just making it feel a little cooler here. And then perhaps an increasing chance of some showers moving in across the far south as we head through the latter part of the evening into the early hours. Some of this could turn heavy as it pushes towards the south coast. A bit of uncertainty how quickly this will push northwards. More cloud around overall means temperatures not quite as low tonight compared to the weekend, generally staying in double figures, some low cloud and fog to start the day. But on Tuesday, a bright start in the north, cloudy in the south, the increasing risk of some showers pushing northwards. These perhaps turning a little heavy and thundery later on. 1 or 2 showers starting to develop parts of Northern Ireland and Scotland later. And a bit of an easterly breeze still means the east is cooler, but the west temperatures 24, 25, starting to feel more humid too.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Thank you, Britain, for making GB News Radio such a huge success. Whether you're in the car, on the go, or listening at home, thank you for choosing us as your radio station.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. The M6 northbound is affected by a collision between junctions 2 and 3 in Birmingham East. The M11 southbound has an incident at junction 14 in Girton. The A12 is closed at junction 25. The M62 eastbound has an obstruction between junctions 10 and 11 near Croft. In Scotland, the M80 southbound has 2 lanes restricted at the M8 slip. And on the trains, Greater Anglia has major disruption between Shenfield and Southend Victoria, with further disruption between Tottenham Hale and London Liverpool Street. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
Britain is not just a geographical expression. We are a people bound together by history and culture that are distinctively British. Join me to celebrate our music, theatre, artworks and literature, which we can explore and enjoy together.
Everybody's welcome.
Sunday with Michael Costello. Every Sunday at 11 a.m. on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Join me, Nana Akweer, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, Dave.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Some people enjoy lazy Sunday mornings, but not me. What's the truth of the matter?
So that's a very live question.
Would you support him if he waters down these plans? Before the spin sets in, I'll be getting to the truth.
This is personal.
No soft questions, no easy answers.
It's one thing if the state has rules in this country. It's another thing whether the police and others actually police them.
Setting the agenda and holding those in power to account. You can't really blame her if the system is set up this way. You will not want to miss it, trust me. The Camilla Tominey Show, Sundays from 9:30, only on GB News.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk then?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
In fact, has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up?
About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m. only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Good morning to you. It's Monday, the 24th of August. We are live across the United Kingdom. Britain's newsroom with Andrew Pearce and Miriam Cates.
The Prime Minister stands with Ukraine. Andy Burnham is in